Russ Clark with you at Mortgage One Studios, and Chris Larson's in today. It's Thursday.
Here.
Yeah, it is Thursday.
You must have a deaf person using this before me because
Oh, no.
you always have it cranked up
Well,
so loud.
no, it's not true. In the morning, when I'm rearranging things and everything, quite often one of the cables rub against
rubbed against it.
and you see, I shoved them all underneath that this morning. I mean, it does it so often. I said, man, I got to start taking care of it. So you notice there's no cables on top.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll become a professional.
Maybe I'll become a technician. once we get that all figured out. No, I blow up everybody's ears. Or I turn it off completely, and I wonder, why can't I hear anybody? Disclaimer.
There we go.
Hey, all content presented in the Russ Clark Show, including statements made by guests, commentators, and callers, reflect the personal opinions of those individuals and is not provided for informational. It is provided for informational and entertainment purposes only. These views do not represent the official position of Mortgage One Studios, its owners, employees, affiliates, or partners. Mortgage One Studios does not endorse, verify, or guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or reliability of any statements made by third parties during programming. You're safe now, Chris.
Well, Derek's safe.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
probably
he's
more true.
Yeah, you put a lot of responsibility on us. It's for informational or entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
What if we're not entertaining and we're not very informational?
It doesn't guarantee entertainment.
Well, that's what it's for.
Just in case we happen to be entertaining. That's all that is.
Okay. All right.
So there's no pressure. You can back off now.
You can relax a little
calm
bit.
down.
All right, cool.
The story I had on top this morning. A few of them I didn't get to. I didn't read some of these yet, but I will. Yuma County Middle School teacher arrested, and they always put alleged in, don't they?
Right. Well,
That's another one of those.
They have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Disclaimers. Alleged.
It doesn't look good for her.
Yeah.
Even though she's not arrested. I mean, she's going to be convicted socially. Social media
Do
probably.
we know who it is?
Yeah.
I didn't
Dina
hear of
Lynn
that.
Salter, 55 years old. You would think, 55 you do know better. That doesn't mean you do better.
Right.
It's just you know better.
Let's tell the story first so people know what we're talking about.
Methamphetamine. There was a bag found on the campus at the Somerton Middle School on Monday. So deputies, and that's what was weird. It's deputies. They found, I don't know who found it, but somebody.
Well, it was a coworker.
Okay, and deputies
found it in the break room.
So deputies looked inside. What? The coworker didn't look inside?
No. Yeah.
I mean,
the coworker looked inside. It says they were looking inside to see who it belonged to. It was a makeup bag.
They didn't
wanted
know.
to see who it belonged to, and they found the substance. They turned it in.
They gave it to the deputy,
Yeah.
and there must have been a resource officer, so maybe it was already there. I can't imagine them calling the cops. Found a makeup bag. We need you to look into it.
Right.
I don't think.
Yeah,
that
I'm sure it was the
happens
resource officer.
Yeah. So, but the officer looked inside. They couldn't figure out who it belonged to, so they turned it over to the county sheriff's office. Is that normal? What happens to a makeup bag? Usually, it just goes into the lost and found.
Well, if it's in like the teacher break room, they would just leave it there.
Probably.
So I don't know who the snoopy person is that opened it up in the first place. But
Well, staff members want to turn it over. They must have suspected that something in there wasn't makeup. I guess. It doesn't really say, but it just sounds odd. Found a makeup bag. You better call the cops now.
Well, it says
That's
they found it in there while they were trying to identify who the bag belonged to.
Yeah.
And then they were like,
Well, possibly.
this substance looks suspicious.
So they tested it, and sure indeed, it was 4.35 grams of meth. And like I stated to you off air, that is enough meth to change your life.
I'm not that informed on meth amounts.
I don't know what it does to you physically. I know what it's going to do to her as far as career and social.
Well,
It's
career,
changed her
there's
life.
the fingerprint card is only child-related crimes.
Well,
So
once
the drugs don't have a problem with it.
Oh yeah, it does. As soon as
Not
they
with
charge
fingerprint
you,
card.
there's a problem.
No.
That's what.
For the fingerprint card?
Oh, I don't care about the fingerprint card.
Well, that's what you need to get hired as a teacher. So.
No, but I imagine she's not going to get a
She's
job.
likely to go to jail. So.
Yeah, she's likely not going to have a job afterwards.
Right. That's true too. But
And that's what I'm saying. That's why the 4.35 grams doesn't sound like a lot, but it's enough to change your life.
Yeah. Teachers in short supply, she can get hired.
She just changed her life.
Just not from jail. She might be able to do one of those online schools.
I would think so. I would think so. I mean, I don't think one drug charge forever. It's just that the drug charge happened at the school.
Yeah, that's
It wasn't like, hey, I was 17, made a bad decision. It was like
55
yesterday.
at the school.
Yesterday in school.
That's gonna be a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a problem.
Do you know how much meth is a bad deal? Or?
No,
Just
no. I
sounds
just
like
know that. I just know
sounds like
4.35 was enough to get your name in the paper and get you charges.
Well, it might be the fact that they're a middle school teacher on campus that got them in.
I think it would have gotten you
I don't
dry at the mall if you had 4.35. I don't know. I don't know how much that is, but
Now they got to give her some leeway because teachers need something to get through the day.
you're not really saying that.
Actually, I did know a guy that he used meth recreationally, and he'd tell you about
Really?
it. Yeah, I was like, woo.
I agree. I've known people that have done narcotics. I knew a guy that did marijuana
Mm-hmm.
just regularly.
Everyone knows marijuana.
just regularly, and it's not without side effects to
Right.
do that. But it was just his thing every day.
Yeah.
And not I just think he liked it. I don't think there was like I gotta have it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, marijuana doesn't have the same kind of addictive effects that, caffeine. My dad would go nuts if he didn't have his.
yeah, maybe not physical, but mentally it
Yeah,
does,
yeah.
and it starts to become that. But I've known that. But then there's some people that take one drink of alcohol, alcoholic for life, can't
Yeah.
put it down.
Right.
Like, well, one's good. Give me 2 cases. And I don't know what that is. Why that personality's there.
I've never been, when I decided to quit smoking, I just stopped smoking. When I turned diabetic, I stopped drinking soda. I just, when I decide I'm going to stop.
Well, eventually, yeah. When you stop,
But
you stop. But most.
my addiction was World of Warcraft.
Oh, that is
that game,
bad. That's addictive.
I was up all night doing things. It was affecting.
And
my
imagine how good it is
everything.
now with AI. It can be more engaged.
Yeah, I had to
It
get
gets
out.
more realistic.
And I don't. I didn't go right back.
And
I
for
didn't
everyone-
want to test whether I could handle it.
And,
Again, so I
and,
just
and
got
for
out.
everyone knows, World of Warcraft is a video game that's
Very
a community
immersive.
video game. You get online, so you play the game with others helping and doing, communicating, talking.
And it's incredibly immersive.
Yes.
When you have your character turn, it's like you're turning. Everything. They have different heights of characters,
Uh-huh.
and it's seeing the world from those different heights, which means all the angles are specific to that.
Right. It's very well
It's
done.
really an amazing.
I've
program.
never played it.
Yeah.
I've seen it,
Yeah.
but I've never played it. I'm addicted to other things.
And I think everyone has an addiction of some kind.
Well, I'm addicted to
but
eating.
yeah, well, and
Oxygen's
what was that
good.
guy? Tom Arnold talked about that years ago. He was talking about his weight issues, and he's like, if you're addicted to smoking, you can stop smoking. Addicted to drinking, you can stop drinking. You can't stop eating. If
Right.
you're addicted to eating, you've got to eat. And he said, that was the hardest thing. Is finding how much food I'm eating because I need to eat, and then how much I'm eating because I want to eat.
I've struggled with that my whole life.
Mhm.
And in fact, I was going through some pictures yesterday with Helen,
Mm-hmm.
and keep in mind, I've only been married a couple of years, and I've been, I've known her a little bit before that, but we went through some pictures, and the weight variance is 30 pounds.
Already?
No, well, I go up, I go down. There's times I'll start becoming a runner, and I'll start running half marathons, and get down, and then
In the last couple of years? I haven't
no,
seen
that
it.
was a while ago.
Okay.
That was a while ago. But no, well, in the last few years, when I first got married, I was like 230, and then I got down to 192.
In the last, married to Helen.
In the last, yeah,
I haven't seen that big of a change because I've known you
I'll show you pictures.
much longer.
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't
show you
need to see
pictures.
them.
But yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well, I looked at it yesterday and I said, "Oh my gosh, how could I let myself go like that and back and forth?" But it's been like my whole life.
my sister posted a picture from like 20, 25 years ago of the whole family had gotten together, and my wife, her comment was, "Wow, you were chubby."
Thank
And I
you.
looked at the picture. I was
Thanks
like,
for noticing.
and yeah, because you don't notice it because you gain it a little bit at a time.
Yeah,
you don't
and
feel
you
it.
don't notice it.
And-
You're right. I didn't know. I was like, "Wow, I was that big."
Yeah.
When I looked at the pictures, I was
Yeah.
like, "Man, that's terrible."
And you're taller than me. I got to 230 at one point.
Uh huh.
And on a short person,
Yeah.
230 is a lot of weight. And It's a big difference. It shows in everything. Your face,
Oh yeah,
all over.
yeah. I start becoming round,
Yeah.
like a hobbit. You're about a hobbit's height.
I would okay
With the
being a
beard and
hobbit.
everything, you
Yeah.
could be a hobbit. Just look a little smaller, and you're there, right there. Yeah, it is addictive. And I
Yeah.
just recently, I've been in the gym. I've been working. I've been losing weight. I figured Helen deserved a better husband.
Mm.
I'm losing weight, doing all that stuff.
Are you gonna find her one?
Yeah, I'm still looking. Yeah, thank you, Chris. But I did. I got down to 192, like by the first of the year or so, and then I had the AFib,
Right.
which didn't affect my eating habits, but it doesn't matter. I did it anyway.
Right.
I can't say AFib caused it. It was just stupid. And then I couldn't work out in the gym as much, which again didn't affect the weight. It was how much I ate that affected the weight.
Yeah.
Portion size and all that stuff. And then I had the surgery, which I couldn't even work out at all. I was stuck at home next to the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Very bad. And so I guess this week I finally said enough. And I think I hit the scales at 212.2.
Okay.
Point two. That was Monday. This morning it's 205.
Oh wow.
That shouldn't be possible.
Well,
I don't
how much
think
of it was water weight and things
Don't
like that?
know.
It's hard to say.
Don't know. But I'm back eating way less than way less than I normally do. I'm down like 1,000 calories a day or something. But and it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But when I want to eat, and if I let myself do it, I could eat all day.
Yeah. Yeah, and people that are killing themselves trying to lose weight and stuff, and then sitting down to a big meal, you're defeating the
Oh,
purpose.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's much something when we got married. The person doing the food, the caterer, asked do we want big plates or little plates? I was like, it doesn't matter. She says, well,
Yeah, it
small
does.
plates people eat less,
They
so
do.
then it'll save you some money. And that's true. And my nutritionist said the same thing. Get small plates, small
Yeah.
bowls, because your eyes see this full plate and full bowl, and you feel like you've eaten more, but you haven't. And our house, was been built years ago. It has a little cubby where you can put plates. You can't put plates in there anymore because the plates have all gotten huge. The
Oh,
Americans have just
much
gotten,
like we've gotten huge.
yeah, we just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger in the states, and our bodies are reflecting that. And I always say, people, Americans, we don't have a drug problem or a gun problem or any kind of problem like that. We have an excess problem. Everything we do is an excess.
Yeah, we're good at it.
Yeah,
Let's
we are.
talk to Ted. Ted, good morning.
Good morning, Russ. How are you
I'm
doing?
doing well, sir.
Well, they just passed the vote to hold him in contempt, Fauci.
Okay.
Straight line
and-
vote by the Democrats not to. So
No,
you can
okay.
see where their
All
heads
along
are.
partisan lines. I thought it would be along science lines.
Well, I think Fetterman almost threw up when he said nay to it, but
Uh-huh.
you can look at it. You can look at his facial expressions when he did it. He didn't want to do it.
Is he trying to
But
suck up to the party? Is he?
Exactly.
So what does that
And
mean now, Ted? Where's that going to go? Is that what is contempt? Is contempt jail time, or is it a slap on the wrist and ruin his reputation?
I don't know. I had my mom pull up her federal forms from when she was in the federal government with my dad and all. And if they go to the agreements that they signed on their federal form packets,
Mm.
he's guilty as sin of a bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah,
From what I
Yeah.
what I read out of their federal packet that they had to sign and agree to and swear oath to serve and protect. And I know he had to sign that packet. My mother said if he's a federal employee of any kind, he had to fill out and sign that packet to the agreements that he made with the federal government
now
as an employee.
the real effect. I mean, what happened in the Senate is obviously political. It's not. He broke the law. It's a hold him in contempt, but contempt's political at this point. Deserved, but political. Did it mention anything about having to face like real charges from like an indictment?
They're trying to pry that out of Paul right now, but they're kind of keeping this low level.
Yeah.
They're going to go after him. They're going to go after him. state-wise.
Well,
Federal government,
he killed
weasels,
people.
but
He lied. He killed people. He misdirected. It was all crap.
in government, they don't listen. In government, they don't call that lying.
Okay, what
It's
do they call
called misinformation.
Yeah, okay. He misinformation to the point people died
Right,
and changed lives. Kids didn't go to school.
right. Well, they've got him in Florida right now. They've already charged him with some crime. I don't know. They've already charged him in Florida.
Yeah.
So there's going to be other states. And if I'll tell you what really upset me, this panel that just held the votes for again, for what he did, or to hold him in contempt. Guess
Yeah.
who wasn't there? That
Huh.
little pudgy representative of ours from Arizona.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Diego?
Dorito, whatever. Dorito.
I know
he,
you call him
he
Dorito.
wasn't there.
It's
Yeah, Dorito.
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
Dorito. He- I don't know. His proxy vote. He didn't know show
There
up.
is no proxy vote.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. He
You
just
can't-
did it.
Oh.
He just voted in his absentee. He voted no.
Wow. Well, I can't
Didn't
believe it's
show
political.
up.
It shouldn't be political. I mean, people should be outraged about what happened. How is it? I need to talk to Democrats, have them explain it to me.
They can't. They're going to throw Trump's a killer on you.
Yeah, yeah, they'll change the subject.
Right. That's how they do it. And that's
Uh,
why Dorito didn't show up.
But how can they keep backing that crap? I think it's hurt them as a party overall. I think overall they've lost people because of it. They stick to the lies and stick to it. And then they call Trump a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar. It comes out of their mouth all the time. And like,
Well,
about
they're
what?
now, right. The Democratic Party now has turned full Islamist on them. Full out turned Islamist.
There's factions. I mean, I think it's fractionalized. I don't think the Democratic Party, you can speak about it as a whole on
Right.
most subjects.
Yeah, it's very fractured right now.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, he didn't show up for this vote in person.
Uh-huh.
So we've got no representatives from Arizona. Nothing. We have nothing. They won't even show up. They
Well,
won't even show their face.
well, got-
No.
got some
no.
good
They
representatives.
won't show up.
Yeah.
Not
Whatever.
the Senate.
Yeah, we've got some. Oh, in the Senate? Oh, no,
No.
we don't have anything. The Senate's an embarrassment. I think I just terrible between Kelly and Diego. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not wrapping my head around that. How we got here.
Well, like I said, these people need to go back to the federal documents that they signed when they became federal employees.
Uh-huh.
That's where they can get them.
Well,
That's where they can get them.
I know he's 85, and somebody said, "Well, he's so old and all that." It didn't stop him going after Trump. He's 80, and they're still going after Trump. In fact, they're shooting at him. But
I don't want them to go after him. I want them to
It's not.
hold up the documents that he signed when he became a federal employee.
I want the truth to
Stop
be
playing
acknowledged
this-
and looked out there. I want J6 completely out there, and I want Fauci out there, and get Epstein out there. No, I don't care. I just want transparency on everything.
Yeah.
Just put it all out there. And there's so
Well,
many
if
people
they-
block.
Right. If they just follow the documents that they signed when they became federal employees,
What?
it would be transparent. He has no rights. Once he signed those documents as
Yeah,
a federal
but the
employee,
documents are going to get
he surrenders some of his rights when it comes to information.
right.
Well,
That,
and
had
I
to be, that
understand.
is part of the federal
But
government.
that doesn't matter because he's going to be back. He's going to be protected politically.
Well, and the other side of the coin is not the other side, just another coin, I guess. He accepted
This-
the pardon from Biden, and so they're saying, well, then you have no reason to not answer questions. You've already got the pardon. That
Right.
was the key point in
Let me-
the
let me-
contempt.
Right. Let me put it to you this way. My mother worked for the Air National Guard at the Pentagon, okay? If she had done something wrong that caused the jets to not get fueled properly,
Oh,
she
wow.
could plead the fifth, but she's still going to jail for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
under the documents that she signed as an employee
Yeah.
of the federal
But,
government.
but somehow this political stuff, you don't do that. You don't go to jail if you're in politics. And Fauci's political.
But he's a federal employee.
You're completely right. No, I'm not missing anything. You're missing it. They're overlooking it. They're not. They don't care that he signed it. They don't care, and that's sad. That's not good. They're not treating him like a regular case. They're treating him like he's a superhero, and he's everybody's mentor, and they love him. So they're not going to look at the documents. They're not going to look at anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to let you know that I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to press these people in D.C. to look at those federal documents that he signed and hold him to what it says, because they would have held my father to it. They would have held my mother to it.
Right. But Ted, that just
If
means
they
we're going to
didn't.
have to pray for everyone you're calling. Tell them to be patient with Ted.
Send them some X-Lax.
Okay. If that helps. All right, buddy. Take care, man.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
As Mr. Ted,
Yeah.
he gets wound up,
Yeah.
which is good though. He was calm,
We need people.
but he's not happy.
It's important to keep an eye on things.
He's a guy that really does call people,
Well, he calls
senators
us,
and
so-
people. I mean, no,
Yeah,
he'll call them all.
I googled where things are for Fauci from here. So apparently the contempt charge gets sent to the U.S. attorney, and then the U.S. attorney determines what happens to it. Could be jail time, could be a fine, different amounts of whatever they decide. But the question is, can that be applied to somebody that's got a pardon, a general federal pardon? Because Biden gave him pardoned him.
I would say that that's going to be tested.
Yeah,
And
it's gonna be
but
tested,
yeah, a pardon's a pardon whether you did it or didn't do it. It's a pardon.
Yeah.
But here's where the pardon doesn't help him, in Florida,
right.
because that pardon will be for federal.
Yeah, but the
So
contempt charge from
Florida
Senate
is doing something.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk to Gilbert. Good morning, Gilbert.
Hey, Russ, check your volume. I have my JBL speaker on and I can't listen. I can't hear you 5 feet away from my speaker.
All right. Let me take.
And my volume on my phone's all the way up.
That's. Oh gosh, it is. Okay.
He did that last week too.
Well,
You just don't want Gilbert to hear.
I do want. Believe me.
That's true. That's true.
Play with it and see if
If I walk,
What kind of
okay.
Yeah, if
sponsorship
I
with
walk
JBL
back
are
to
you
the-
getting?
I think I just fixed. I hope it's blowing you out now.
not really, because once I turn my phone on to talk to you, that might
Okay.
shuts off my JBL.
I've got.
But I hear you better. I hear you better on my phone.
I appreciate you so much. Thanks for calling. I've got the gauges registering better now. So I just switched
Okay.
it from one program to a different one, and it looks like it worked. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thanks.
Well, I'm not done.
Oh,
Oh man, I was gonna hang up.
You're not gonna run me off.
Darn it,
You're
I'm
not
not.
gonna run me off.
I'm not off the
I
hook.
pay my dues. I pay my dues.
Yes, you did. What's up, man?
First of all, you've got to be double jointed in your shoulders.
Okay,
what are you talking about?
I might be.
Well, the way he pounds his back and how great he is. I thought all your weight loss and you're doing this and you're doing that.
Oh no, I'm
my
telling you, I'm
goodness.
struggling. Is what I'm telling you. I'm struggling. I struggle. I'm stupid at times. I mean, it's a real addiction. But yeah, I struggle.
Right. A while back, while I was chair,
Yeah.
I was at 215 pounds.
Uh-huh.
Remember those days?
Oh, I do remember. Yeah.
215 pounds. Now I'm at 163 pounds this week.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, if I didn't have the addiction, maybe I could attempt that. Maybe I will, Gilbert. Maybe I'll.
We all have our own addictions.
Yep.
We do.
I'm trying
We
to
all
get.
have our,
I want to get down to my original weight. 8 pounds 6 ounces.
my car is addicted to baking. She
Bacon.
really is.
Bacon's a great
Bacon.
way drug to meats. It's a gateway
Yeah,
meat.
no,
Yeah.
no, I'm saying baking.
Oh, baking. Ah, that would be.
Cooking.
a
I thought you were
problem for
talking
me.
about, pork bellies.
No,
Okay.
no, yeah, baking. And,
All right.
I could have said cooking, but she loves to bake when she's under stress.
She does
Mm.
do
So
that.
what do I do to get my blueberry pie? I stress her out. And she bakes.
Oh, wow.
Brilliant.
Wow. That is brilliant. That's pretty smart.
Eh,
man.
Anyway, I was listening to the contempt of Congress hearings just now
Okay.
Uh-huh.
from the beginning.
Mhm.
And my question is, what are the Democrats hiding? What are they hiding? The facts of COVID? What led to COVID? Why are they so geared up to stop the hearings that would take care of Fauci?
I think those
Are
are.
they because they were all in the cesspool together?
I think that's all great questions. I don't think they're hiding too much right now. I just think it's politically supportive of one another.
Yeah,
Like
there's-
we know you lied, but you supported us, so we're gonna do all we can to keep you out of trouble.
I don't see that much loyalty from the Democrat Party. I think they're just being contrary.
Well, they're
Just-
loyal to the
And they're-
cause.
They're loyal to
And you know-
anti-Trump.
Yeah, that too. Part of the cause.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
Chris is right, because you listen to
Hey.
the hearing and they all had the same damn script.
Yeah.
They did. They all had.
Trump's
I
worse.
want. Huh?
What was the script? Trump's worse or Trump's bad or something? Or
No. Why they shouldn't have this hearing? They shouldn't have him in contempt.
all right.
They basically had the same wording. Why they feel that it's wrong to do this, and they all say the same thing. They were conspiring to make this guy look bad, and they did everything they could to get him arrested and blah 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 blah. They all basically said the same damn thing. Why they feel they should not have this hearing.
But
I'd like to make a motion to stop this hearing because and blah 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 blah. The same
Really?
same deal.
Yeah, they probably
All of it.
agreed to that. But that's just part of the whole cover. Because if
Right.
they read, it's more than just trying to get him in trouble because they don't like the way he combs his hair. It's because he
Right.
killed people. He lied to
and-
Congress.
And what's really sad, Russ, is the Republicans do the same damn thing when
Yeah.
they want to stop something from acting. They do the same damn thing.
It's all
They do.
possible.
You listen to enough hearings, you realize it's the same thing. They just word their paragraph differently.
I think the Republicans aren't as good at it.
No, they're not. They're not. They're not as often. Not as often.
Yeah.
And then we got a Republican. He was a mayor in Phoenix that is running as Hobbs' lieutenant governor.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't know him. What's his
Yep.
name again?
I didn't write it down, but I was listening to it and I'm going, what the blank?
I heard a rumor it was a Republican. Was that going to be like a Liz Cheney type person or something?
Probably, yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Basically,
did he?
yeah.
Wow.
Get it on your computer. Like I said, I was listening to a whole bunch of stuff at one time. But yeah, we have a former Republican or Republican, mayor of Phoenix, the Phoenix area, running as her lieutenant governor.
Yeah.
Did he win the Democrat primary?
Well, they haven't. Well, I don't think he has a I think she's appointing him as her running mate.
Yeah.
Is it the?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait a
It's going to be like a
Okay.
president picking a vice president.
Because
Yeah.
he said running for the attorney general,
No, he's running for the
vice
no,
vice gov, whatever.
lieutenant governor.
Lieutenant governor.
lieutenant governor.
Lieutenant governor.
Okay.
Lieutenant governor.
I couldn't think of what they called
Okay.
it. Yeah, lieutenant governor. Just like the Trump picked Vance,
Right.
Right.
So
It-
she's
it-
really
it's
wanting to
like-
try to reach across the aisle. She thinks that's what'll work. Like
Well, yeah,
I may
because-
be a terrible governor, but since I've got a lieutenant governor that has no power as my running mate, you'll all vote for me now. I don't think so.
John Giles.
Who would even agree to that? John would.
Yeah,
I guess.
John. Well, it's called prestige.
Well, it's 15 minutes of fame, buddy.
Exactly. You and I both know that, but that's where he's at. And
Uh,
well, they say he was a rhino Republican to begin with.
It's like 15 seconds. I don't even know who the current lieutenant governor
There
is.
isn't one.
There isn't.
This is the first one ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
And now, Biggs already picked a lieutenant governor.
Yeah.
Cena
yeah.
Kerr.
Kerr.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice
Yeah,
lady. And she's not a rhino or anything like that. She actually
No.
was well received on cross-party lines. Farmer.
And the fact that she was a farmer and
Yep.
she worked the ground, she worked the dirt,
She did. She
Yeah.
did.
She,
And she was really a great representative. She did a great job.
I think she was.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I got for right now. I
Thank
got to
you,
go
buddy.
back and look my yard. I just want to tell you, hey, I can't hear you.
Well, you helped a lot. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Take care.
Okay. Yeah. So I've got just a little bit on this Giles guy. He endorsed Kamala Harris and Mark Kelly and Hobbs.
So he endorsed Mark Kelly and Kamala Harris, and he's
and Hobbs.
and he's a Republican.
Wow. Who has a history of crossing the aisle.
Oh, look.
You jumped across the aisle.
I don't ever really use the word rhino. I'm thinking about an exception. Thinking about it.
Yeah, well,
when I apply.
and our system allows, I don't know
register.
what it would be, an incursion or something, somebody registering
You can do anything you want.
on the other side
Yeah.
just to mess with them or something.
Well, no, you can call yourself whatever.
Yeah, that might be this guy.
You could be a socialist and register as a Democrat.
Now, here's the Mesa mayor. Huh.
A Republican.
Yeah,
So she's going to show how bipartisan she is
I guess.
by getting some guy that supported all the Democrats. It's very bipartisan. I wonder what effect that's going to have.
Hopefully a bad effect for them.
Well, I mean, if he was a mayor that was well received, embraced, and endorsed by the community, that's a big population in Mesa. Maybe not. Well, we'll have to see.
Did Mesa like him as a mayor?
I don't know. That would be curious to know. Type that in. Ask your artificial intelligence if he was liked as a mayor. They might have something to say about that. I had
That's interesting.
a story I already lost. Oh well, I'll get back to it. But the bike ride's coming up.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah,
The Mayor's International Bike Ride. You've never been?
No.
I have, and I want to go back. It's October 24th at 8 a.m. It starts at Desert Hills Golf Course parking lot, and it's the mayors. That's plural. It's not just Doug. It's all the mayors in Yuma County as well as mayors in Mexico that all come into that.
Oh, I thought it was, the mayor is sponsoring.
No,
that's singular.
Oh
no, yeah, it is. Yeah, okay. I thought it was the mayor's.
I was gonna say you're the school teacher,
Right.
but I think I had it right.
Yeah, but I'm a math teacher.
A math teacher, okay. But this saying is a lot of fun, Chris. It's you start at Desert Hills and you go all the way down into San Luis, Mexico, and it's very safe in that it goes along the roadways with police escorts.
Oh, really?
You start off with the city
Yeah,
police.
if you're going to Mexico, you want a police.
Well, you get police escorts all the way to the border.
Okay.
And it'll be the Somerton Police. It'll be the sheriff's department. It'll be San Luis, and all along the way, they're traveling, at bike speed, and there's a group of 200 bikes behind them, pedaling, and they don't go straight through. Every 4 to 5 miles, there's a stop for a rest and water and conversation.
Huh.
So it's actually a fun time.
Yeah.
To go out there. You can talk to some of the mayors and some of the politicians that are out there and get on there. My electric bike right now has an electrical problem and I haven't worked on it. I've got to get that thing tuned up because I want to go.
Right now I'm picturing somebody, just got elected to mayor, first time as a mayor, and somebody comes to him and says, "Oh, by the way, we're doing our bike ride." What are you talking about? I don't.
Yeah. Well,
I don't ride bikes.
Doug did a regular pedal bike. He didn't have an electric bike, which I highly recommend.
Yeah.
I still pedal, but I still I'm not pedaling as hard. I have to have. It's like a handicap thing. It's a pedal assist. Because I'm an old guy. I need it. It's the 10th time they've done it.
That's cool.
Doug Nichols says, whether this is your first ride or you've been with us from the beginning, we invite you to join us for the special milestone as we continue building friendships and partnerships throughout the regions. And that's what it is. Get the whole county together and our southern partners across the border. And I've only been once. And somehow I've been out of town. I can't make it, whatever the reason is. I've not been able to make another one. But it says, wear a bicycle helmet, though, if you go to Mexico. Now, a lot of people go just to San Luis, and they don't go into Mexico. They go to San Luis, Arizona, and head back home. Probably at least half went into Mexico.
They can be checking passports and
yeah,
really?
They have to.
Huh.
Well, not going in.
Well,
last time they didn't, but
well, even coming back.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people be checking.
Well, here's how they did it in a hurry. We're all downtown. They have a street blocked off. There's no street vendors, anything. There's police on every corner. It's all blocked off, and we're all in there. They feed us. There were beers. There was dancing, music,
well, you should
a
lead
band.
with that.
Huh?
You should lead with that.
Lead with that. Yeah, it was great. It was wonderful. I mean, it was just such a hospitality there from our Mexican neighbors. And then when it came time to go home, they said, go home. No, they said, look, if you're ready to go, now's the opportunity. And all the bikes get together and they open up a special lane for them.
Oh, okay.
And so we don't get in line behind the 50, 100 cars, whatever's in line. They have a special lane, and you have your passport, driver's license, whatever ready, and they just check you real quick as you go in. The customs guys are there, and it's like, okay, go. And I didn't see too many bags checked or something, but I mean, there's still going to be a dog there looking, don't get stupid.
Right.
Don't tarnish it. Don't get stupid. And so we went through really fast. And the only downside for some is that police escort all the way down to Mexico, into Mexico. And once you get past into the United States again, you're on your own.
Okay.
That's you. So you're in San Luis, Arizona, and you find your way back to wherever home is, wherever you're going. Now, some people rode their bikes all the way back to desert. I did not. I have a trailer set up just for my bicycles. I had for two of them. And I had my brother drive there with my truck with the trailer, and we just threw the bikes on the trailer. I got in the back seat, and said, "Home, James."
For that.
Of course, I had a couple beers by then. Although I think I've had one beer this year or two, but health-wise, I've been trying to stay away from beers or alcohol. But I may make an exception for this. This may be one of those.
I've been trying to drink more alcohol health-wise. A little bit of alcohol is good for you. And
Is it? Who
I've
says?
just never really drank much. Well, I've heard it over the years.
Well, I mean, I know guys that drink a lot to tell me it is, but
I don't drink a lot.
I want someone like Fauci, a scientist, to tell me. I mean, somebody other than Fauci tell me that.
Especially red wine is supposed to be really good.
That's not necessarily true.
It said it's supposed to be. I don't know.
There's elements in red wine that are very good for you. I think it's resveratrol or something that's in the red wine. What they come to find out is that you have to get the amount of that's going to help you, you're going to probably lose your liver. So they make a supplement.
Oh, really?
That you can get it without the alcohol. And some people say, well, what's the fun in that?
Yeah.
What are you going to do that for? Let me see. Online registration strongly encouraged, so you need to do that for this mayor race. It's not a race. It's just a ride.
Oh, it's a race.
And no,
if I show up.
And look, all you would be doing is racing to the next stop, the next stop, the next stop. You're not going to get to Mexico till everyone else does. But
I'm okay with that.
So online registration is encouraged to help speed up check-in. So yeah, you go in and get a shirt and all that stuff.
Ooh,
and we see a local band, Checkered Pass, from 6:45 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's cool. So they're gonna put a band. I like Checkered Pass. They're good guys. They're gonna put a band at the registration.
You think somebody told be set up by 5.
Well,
in the morning?
Yeah, 6:45 in the morning. You check
they
in.
gotta set up ahead of time.
Oh, they set up, yeah. And then for
the
a band to
morning?
come in the morning, they don't do that. They close the bars.
Yeah.
The registration begins at 7, but I'll be pre-registered. But you still have to go in and say, "Hey, give me my shirt," and mark me off as being here, I guess. All riders must complete a waiver to participate. Riders younger than 18 must be accompanied by a parent or guardian. Now, if you're going into Mexico, you have to have a bicycle helmet, a
Okay.
bicycle and a helmet. You have to
Yeah,
have
it'd
both.
be hard to ride a bicycle without a bicycle.
Well, I think they don't want you to jump into the party without it's a bicycle party, I
Yeah.
guess. You take both. Sunscreen and comfortable athletic attire. I don't think is that required? I mean, is that recommended?
Well,
It should, I guess.
A tire of some kind is probably.
Yeah,
but
it's not that.
I don't
It's
know
not
if it has
Seattle.
to be athletic.
Yeah, Seattle has that naked race.
Well, they have pictures of one in
Lutz Casino.
Lutz Casino.
Yeah, that's probably where it
Couple of
was.
them,
Yeah, they imported that picture. That wasn't done locally.
Oh, wasn't it?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. A water bottle. And there's water stops all along the way, so I didn't even have a water bottle.
Yeah, you should always have water.
Well, there was.
It's a desert.
It was everywhere. I didn't have it. Light belongings. So don't take a lot of stuff going into Mexico is a recommend.
Well,
That's a
you're
good recommendation.
Riding a bike, so don't have a lot of.
Mine's a
stuff in
cargo bike. I could take suitcase. I'm not going to. I could take my dog. I put my dog
Oh,
on the
yeah?
bike. Yeah, I have a basket for
Oh,
her,
there. What's it? Misty?
Nixie. Or Lexi.
Lexi?
Yeah.
She's a good sized dog for a bike.
She's 15 pounds.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, it's not
I
one
got
of
an itty bitty little.
it's not one of them purse dogs.
Yeah.
You're not doing that. But yeah, I put her in there. She doesn't love it at times. she accepts it like, oh, okay, we'll do it. It's not that she doesn't like the bike ride. She does. She doesn't like sudden stops and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and I'm a little rough sometimes. I forget the dog's there. Okay. Now at the conclusion event, and I said about you're on your own.
Right.
This does mention I didn't use it, so I don't think about it. There is the area transit, the
Uh-huh.
buses that we've got, and you can put a bike on there. They got bike racks.
Can you imagine everyone putting their bikes on?
But see, and I got a electric. My bike's 80 pounds.
Right.
I think I wouldn't bend the rack, but I'd probably take it all up or something. But I would be on my own. But there are bike racks. You can jump on that and get that going back. So you interested?
I am actually a little bit.
If you
That's
had an
interesting.
electric bike,
Yeah. And October, it's not too crazy hot. So
no.
that'd be-
But
I
it's
got a regular bicycle. I'd ride it. I'd just ride a regular bike. So.
for 20 miles.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just change the gear.
You
You
just-
use a lot of energy.
You just
So I got some. We questioned whether or not Giles was popular as a Mesa mayor.
I did.
Apparently, he was.
Okay.
People liked him.
Okay.
He was in 10 years as the Mesa mayor, won 3 elections, and apparently got a lot of things done. But it says here he left the GOP and registered as independent.
Oh, so he's not really a Republican.
Not anymore, apparently.
Well, then how can she say he's a Republican?
I don't know. Maybe he went back. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I've been
Because some of the
hornswoggled.
some of the other articles I read said they said GOP Republican or something like that. And
But he dumped the
this is
Republican
first-
Party.
Well, this is the first source I'm seeing saying he's independent. So
So she's worse than Liz Cheney. He is.
I don't know.
Well, Liz is still a Republican. She didn't dump it.
Well, which is worse, saying I'm not going to be Republican anymore or pretending to be Republican?
I don't want Hobbs to get elected.
Okay, we can agree on that.
Can I be transparent about that?
We can see right through you.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters at all. Here's the article I was looking for.
What we got?
San Luis police chief is having to defend a flock camera.
Oh,
And I don't know how they got the name flock
I
camera.
think it's the company in it.
I think it's an F word camera, but it wasn't flock. So it's a flock camera. And I say that because it doesn't have complete public support.
Right.
Now, remember in Phoenix when they put the cameras up on the highway for speeding?
Right.
The public was outraged. And they were like, Ted, calling their representatives every hour and hanging up on them and saying, get rid of the cameras, get rid of it. Well, politically, they finally got rid of them.
Yeah.
That was a political move.
Yeah.
They were making good money on it. I mean, they were
Oh,
arresting.
I'm sure there were.
Yeah, they must arresting people, and they've come back into Phoenix. They're not on the highway anymore. They're in town. There are some
Mhm.
stop signs and stuff like that. regular side roads. But I don't, what I understood about flock cameras, and I could be wrong, call me and let me know. The flock cameras, and we have them in Yuma right
Okay.
now. They're all over. They're in the county. They're in the city.
Really?
Yeah, there is a website, and I don't know the name of it. And I apologize, out there that you can get on it, and it'll show you all the flock cameras in the country. They're all labeled, so you know where they are, so you can avoid all those roads for some reason,
right?
If you don't like cameras. But they're owned by private businesses. They're not owned by the city, at least as far as I know, and in Yuma, and that way, it's a lot simpler in that someone says, "Hey, I was at that street corner at midnight, and there was this person I want to get in touch with. Could you give me the camera footage so I could see what the license plate was or something?" They don't. That would be a freedom of FOIA because they own it. You have FOIA access
if the government owns it.
If the government owns it,
Yeah.
well, the government don't own it.
Right.
So a private business does, and if the police have an incident that they want, they will purchase it from the business, the footage,
right,
for whatever it is. Now that footage could become FOIA. Of course, it's tied up in court. You're not going to get it till the trial's over. But to save all that, then that makes perfect sense to me. If I was on the city or county board,
yeah,
I'd say do it that way.
Yeah.
You know,
you don't want to mess.
You don't want to get a long line of people out front trying to get FOIA information.
Well, and there's all kinds of people would be screaming freedom of no, what is it? Privacy rights.
Oh, they're going to do that anyway. But the one the one in San Luis, according to this article, sounds like it's owned by the city. And we have a caller on the line. Good morning, Edward.
Oh, this isn't Edward. This is Madison.
Madison,
oh, wow.
Good morning.
Hey,
That's
good
even
morning.
better.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Thank you. I heard you were talking about flock cameras.
Yes.
So that's an interest I've had for the past 2 weeks.
Oh, it has been. And
yes.
And I take it, I know you have them in your area, but what is the consensus on it as far as public opinion? Are they against that in your area?
Public opinion, we hate them. We don't like them.
Yeah, so that's it. Sugar coated for me. and
oh no, there's
and why? You're driving now, right?
I guess practicing driving, but not on the road by myself.
Okay, well, see, I want the cameras up just to protect you, Madison. What do you feel about that? I want you protected.
Then again, I get the protection case or the protection story, but I would rather give up a little protection than have an AI be able to track my every move and create like almost like a daily path for me.
Now you're sounding like a founding father. Give up liberty for security deserve neither.
Oh yeah, that's a good line.
Yeah. So are the cameras? Is there a big public push to get rid of them? Is that a movement that's going on in your area?
Oh, definitely. There is a Virginia man, I think in Norfolk, who has taken down 13 by himself.
Oh, good. That's a way to get attention. Usually, includes the wrong attention.
Yeah.
But you agree with them? You would like it gone?
I would love them gone, and just where they are is a bit suspicious as well.
Yeah. Well, at least they made them obvious. But now, how do you feel about people with the iPhone taking your picture at a public event? Do you think they should be outlawed from doing that also?
No, since, they're not going through an AI and it's not tracking my location or anything. Plus, I don't really go to that many public events.
Okay.
Going outside.
But I mean, but there's going to be a concern. Look, we get concerned about cameras, and I get it. But like every doorbell has a camera on it now, and my business has cameras. In fact, the police came by the other day and said, hey, there was an incident, a shooting up the street, and they came this way. Does your camera cover the road? And I said, yeah. And they said, can we look? And I said, yeah. Now, it's not a government-owned camera, and I gave them the footage. They arrested a guy that was a danger to the community. Should I have not done that? Should that have been privacy, him running from the scene of a shooting?
In that case, I think cameras are great, but in this case, it's always recording, and it's nearly government access. Anyone can access these things.
Right.
There's been a case of a couple of people being able to read the frequencies that the cameras give off, and you can tap into them. With the case of your what is it? What camera is it? Ring camera?
Uh-huh.
Not everyone can access that because it's a private connection. It's a private video. The
Right.
police had to go to your studio or house, request it, and then get your permission for
Right.
it or for the film.
They did. Or I could have just put it public everywhere, I guess.
Uh-huh.
But you know, we were going to have this conversation about this public. If I'm out in public, do I assume that I have the right to privacy in public? And the general answer has always been no.
Right.
If you're in public, it's not private. But now we're screaming private if we're in public, if you've got a video camera. But what's the difference between a video camera and if we could put a police officer on every street corner with an iPhone? What would be the difference? And I think it's a conversation we're going to continue to have.
Yeah.
The cameras are coming though, Madison. I don't think we can stop them. Do you?
I really don't think so either. I mean, it's going to become one of those things well, I wasn't alive, but do you remember when Google used to keep your search history and everyone got up in arms about it?
Yep.
And I think they
It's
still
going to
do.
become one of those things where everyone just accepts it,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but everyone dislikes it.
I remember when Facebook came out with the face recognition and you could look at a picture and not say, well, I wonder who that is. And you put your mouse on it or whatever, and it would say the name. That got so many people upset about privacy. They cut that off. But I'll bet you it comes back.
Well, and like we were saying, in the case of the finding that criminal, that's a good thing. And there's there's pros and cons to everything, and the
Yeah.
question becomes which one means more to me, the pros or the cons? Because now the facial recognition in pictures, people use it to sort through their picture galleries to identify. I want pictures of this person or that person, and it's a tough question to answer.
I'm
'cause
surprised
there's so
Madison
many
even
good
has a
things.
concern. She has no privacy. Her
Why
dad.
are you surprised? She's
Well,
a brilliant young lady.
no, her dad has her on satellite 24/7. She can't get away.
Sometimes I consider that an actual possibility.
It's a dedicated satellite.
Oh, yeah, dedicated satellite following her around like a drone. Because she needs deserves protection. Now you're in college now, right?
Oh no, I'm a junior in high school.
A junior in high school. Well, yeah, okay, I always think you're older than you are. I guess that's right. You're 16.
Hmm.
All right, that's
On the dot.
surprised you don't.
On the dot, meaning
Okay,
today.
now,
Oh no. That was
okay.
a typical mistake.
so do you plan on a doctorate degree like your father or a doctorate degree like your mother, like a real doctor or just a Jill Biden doctor?
Oh, don't tell my dad that. He's gonna get really upset.
I think that's why he said it.
Yeah, I doubt that he's listening, but I
Oh
appreciate
no, I can turn him off.
I appreciate the call. Thank you so much, Madison. Take care.
You're welcome. You as
Bye-bye.
well.
But
Delightful young lady.
that was funny.
I think it was her 11th birthday. She spent down here in Yuma with us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we went out in the desert and spent the night out at Castle Dome Mine
Mm.
in 110-degree weather or something. It was a blast. We had a great time. It was very memorable. Oh, getting back to flood camera, and we know Madison's opinion now. I guess
Yeah.
on the East Coast,
Yeah.
same I think everywhere.
Well, and it's interesting because I was reading up on this while we were talking here. So the San Luis chief of police went to the public, showed them video, and asked them to identify somebody that was
A guy doing bad driving. He was doing
Yeah.
donuts in the middle of the road
It's
in San
dangerous.
Luis.
and
and
that's
posted
what
it.
got
He-
people upset.
Well, that's when they realized, wait a minute, we got cameras?
Huh?
Yeah, he posted it.
Yeah.
He said, hey, this is from our flock camera. I doubt he said that, but we
Right.
got this video, and people were like, what?
got
You have video?
Ah.
Well, I remember when Yuma was putting up the cameras for something, and at the time, they were told, well, they're not videotaping. That has something to do with traffic control or something.
Right.
They were.
Right.
They were videotaping it for traffic control and license. And that's what the flock cameras are doing.
Yeah.
In Yuma, they take license plates, but they're storing them for history. But we've been doing that for decades. And the tow truck drivers, they all have cameras on their tow truck vehicles. A lot of the tow
Uh-huh.
trucks have cameras, and they're always registering where cars are at what time of day, and they're just flag them. That way, when the drivers, and particularly these drivers that do repossessions, they say, here's a license number we need repoed. They could check the database. And I say, well, he's parked here every day.
Ah,
And they just
really?
they go pick it up.
Wow.
Or they're always at Walmart. They'll drive through all the parking lots and just start writing and just start registering all the license numbers. So they just know your habits, where you go and what you're doing, which means the government know, because the tow truck drivers are tied into the government database. They're allowed to use that. Now they have limited access. A police officer can get in there and get your name, address, social security number. They get all kinds of stuff. But the tow truck drivers get very limited just based on what they need to have on that stuff. So they tie into the system. Well, these flock cameras are now adding to that. I understand.
Yeah, and I'm kind of along the lines of what Madison was saying. Because when these things first started coming out, it was the speeding cameras or the red light running cameras, and no actual person would look at them. They would take the picture, and then it would scan the picture for the license and look you up and just send out the ticket. And that wasn't cool. But if an actual person is involved, that's another story. So in this case, there's an actual person involved. They saw the donuts. They said, oh, we can't identify who it is. Let's get more people involved.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the police officer on the corner,
It is. But we don't have police officers on the corner.
Well, they're expensive.
They used to be. I mean, if you look back at the old movies and stuff, there's always a beat cop always standing around and all that. We don't have that anymore. We got cameras. And stuff more, but the public's pushing back. There's a lot of people says privacy. Do you really have privacy when you're walking down the street? That's I don't think the courts say that's privacy.
I'm okay with the way this one is being used. We've got footage of a dangerous activity. We want to find out who it is and stop it.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you.
But if it's an AI, like Madison was
it's
saying,
all going to go into AI.
Yeah, it's gonna. That's what we need to do is figure out what are we comfortable with, what are we not, and put in
exactly right. But I'm glad you're willing to give up a little liberty for security.
Well, like you said, you're out in public. You have no right to privacy in public.
I know, but being tracked is I understand the apprehension of being tracked, and that's basically what it is. Edward sent me the website for the flocking camera map. So if you want to check where there's flock cameras anywhere in the world, or at least in the United States, it's deflock, just DEFLOCK, one word, .org, deflock.org. So I would imagine this is not a pro
I'm guessing,
a pro flock camera. When we say deflock, I think that's in how to complain about it.
I think the guy that took down 13 cameras that Madison mentioned was probably a regular visitor of that site.
Edward has offered us an educational opportunity. He said, please tell Chris to go outside so that I can show him how a weaponized drone works. Isn't that nice? I mean, he's an educator. I would be
fascinated.
He's an educator at heart.
Did you see the footage of that Russian drone targeting that Ukrainian guy?
Oh, it was terrible.
That was
what it was a street market area where somebody took a van. They were setting up a little table to sell some knickknacks.
He's running around his van trying to get away from this.
And a Russian, war drone came up, and this guy recognized it, saw it, and was trying to run around. It chased him around until it hit him and blew up. Did you realize he lived?
He survived.
Or it was a she, I think.
No, it was a dude.
Was it a dude?
It was a dude, yeah. And he got a little bit and got some shrapnel, and I'm sure it scared the crap
out of him.
Does
he identify as a dude?
Yeah, he was clearly a dude.
Okay.
If he didn't identify as a dude, he was doing it very badly.
So Edward didn't take kindly to my comment about real doctor like Jill Biden.
I figured he
said he would like to demonstrate how he can perform surgery on someone who makes comments such as yours.
He's in a mood today. He's fine.
Yeah, he's but something's different about him in that.
What's that?
Most people say things they can't do. There's nothing that's outside his limits. I think.
I'm sure.
Yeah, you got to be more careful with Edward.
Yeah.
He's got assets and capabilities and an evil enough mind to think it up.
Yeah, they're called flock cameras because they're made by a company called Flock.
Is that right?
Yeah. Which calls into question, how can they be so universal? What kind of deals are they are they making that they're
I
such
don't-
a universally?
I don't know. And I don't know how much of them are owned by, this one sounds like it's owned by the San Luis department, according to the article, because he's defending it. Usually if you're defending it, you say, look, we don't even own them.
Right.
They're owned by a separate company. We bought the footage because
Wow.
of whatever.
Yeah.
So
I think that might, we might be reading into that.
but this says San Luis currently operates 7 license plate readers alongside 17 video cameras. And that's what he told him.
Mhm.
So if they're operating that tells me it's owned.
I don't know. I could
which-
read it the other way.
Could be.
Yeah.
But they have a few comments from residents. Azul Duran says it's kind of an invasion of privacy. Well, you're not invading
Yeah,
somebody's privacy.
you're
Now,
not.
if you go into someone's house,
Right.
you're invading
If
their
they're, if
privacy.
they're putting it up on the telephone pole to look over people's walls and things,
Yeah.
that's another story.
Or
But-
even if someone's poking their head in your window, that's a peeping Tom. There's
Yeah.
a law against that.
Yeah.
But if you see someone on the street corner and you say, "Hey, how you doing?" Don't invade my privacy is not
Right.
the answer. You're not going to get arrested as a peeping Tom.
you might be creepy.
As Will says, I feel like they should put more funding in other things rather than just cameras. I hear that argument on about anything
Mm-hmm.
you don't like. Well, people are hungry and you should be buying food instead of cameras. Yeah, I know. I hear that all the time. Juan Carlos Palacios, he says, I have seen violent situations in this town. That's why I feel it's safe in that this town has them all over.
Yeah.
So there's a guy giving up liberty.
But that argument is really only effective if everybody knows that they're out there.
Well,
People seem to be surprised
Yes.
that we had it, because if you don't know it's there, you're
Yeah.
still going to commit the crime and only
Yes
get
and
caught
no, but-
afterwards.
but at least he'll feel good after he's maimed
He
that the
feels
person got arrested.
Yeah.
But in the long run, they all figured out.
Yeah.
There's cameras. I think I've heard, and I got Edward listening, so I got to be careful because he'll correct me. But Japan is one of the safest cities as far as number of brutal attacks, rapes, murders, and all that stuff.
And
But that's just heavy. That's heavy population more than heavy cameras. But you're not going to do it without getting noticed.
It's cultural.
Is it cultural?
I was over there
Okay.
for a year with the Marine Corps, and they live different. They have different thought processes. You got the Yakuza and all that kind. They still have crime, but it's just a different attitude altogether. They're not all me.
Yeah.
Um,
The articles I read was attributing it somewhat to there's so many people everywhere, you can't really mug somebody and not be seen. It's not like I'm walking down the street
Right.
alone.
Right.
Yeah, don't walk down the street alone. Well, you can. I'm in Tokyo.
Yeah.
You can't walk down alone. The residents they poll just to show us example of one pro, one against.
mhm.
They say the footage is purged after 30 days.
Okay.
Which makes sense. A lot of the cameras, my security cameras are similar. They get rewritten.
Mhm.
It fills up the whole disk and it
takes-
starts
yeah.
over and then rewrites.
Takes a
writes
lot of
over.
memory space.
Yeah. If an officer pulls a video for an active investigation, that footage is stored until the case is closed. And I wonder if it's a case and it goes to trial, wouldn't they have to keep that evidence for a while? That video?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I would think
Yeah.
so. And the police chief says if they don't already have access to our cameras, then we will do a search based on the information requested, and then we will provide them that information. And the other ways they already have access to them, and they are able to search on their own. He was asking, I guess, what was the question? Oh, if it can be accessed by other law enforcement agencies.
Mm.
So apparently,
Yeah.
not directly.
Right.
They can do it
If they're
for them. So
requested.
they do own them then.
Well, they might
Sounds like-
own the information, the video.
Well,
Still-
on the private companies, they just, I wouldn't think it would have to go through all that.
It sounds like San Luis has a decent balance between, people's concerns and the functionality.
Well, at least in rhetoric, we don't know reality because
Right. Well, we never do.
yeah. The police chiefs acknowledged because the question came up, did you notify people you're putting up cameras? Apparently not, which they don't have to
Yeah.
probably, but it would be the polite thing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they didn't want the pushback. And then they emphasize this stuff, and this stuff is just rhetoric. But any officer who misuses or unlawfully accesses footage will face disciplinary action, and up to and including termination. So we see the government misuse files constantly. the files that are supposed to be secure and no one can
Yeah.
look at them get loose all the time by Congress or somebody's getting into, we see so much of that that has just gone outside the rails of the confinement that was supposed to make us feel good about it. I don't feel good about it.
Well, and that happens anytime people are involved with anything, is they're going to corrupt the system. So
Yeah, and those when you go to the airport and you go into that one screening thing that actually can see through your clothes.
Yeah.
They said, well, don't worry, that's erased. You'll never see it. And then they found somebody selling pictures of a celebrity that went into one. Yeah, I mean, don't tell me it's leak proof even by the officers. San Luis reflects a growing statewide conversation regarding automated surveillance. It's not statewide; it's worldwide,
It's
but
national,
definitely
yeah.
nationally. Other cities like Flagstaff and Sedona chose to cancel their contracts, so they had contracts to cancel. So they must have had them, just like Phoenix had cameras. What 15 years ago, maybe?
Well, if it's a contract, that means they don't own them. They're
Right.
just, yeah.
Right. Well, maybe it was contracts to install that they canceled. I don't know. I don't know which way it was. It just
It's probably everything's subscription these days. It's probably,
Is it?
probably subscription.
even Microsoft. I hate
Everything.
Microsoft.
Yeah, they're getting really annoying.
They are.
I
annoying.
love how functional things are with Microsoft and Google, but man, they're getting very invasive.
Well, and everything now you can't. We used to. I'd go down and buy a Word program
And,
and install it.
Yep.
You can't now.
Right.
You rent it every month. You rent a Word program.
Yep.
It's for your own good. That way they can keep updates. I don't need updates. I liked it the way it was.
I'm using the 2007.
Okay. Back when you could
version
buy
of
it?
Word. Yeah, and it works great.
Well, and I don't want an update.
I don't need it.
I like it.
Yeah, I know where everything's at.
What is it? Is it Linux is the competition?
Yeah.
Apparently they're growing like weeds now because there's so many people upset with Microsoft because there's so much advertising and so much pop-ups all the time and stuff that you
Mhm.
can't stop.
Right.
You can't get it stopped. And the computers start running slower because they put so much into it. So when I first buy my computers, they're like fast. I mean, it's so fast, and it's slow. Well, they keep adding so much to it. Well, apparently, if you take a computer like the one here and put the links in it, it'll be super fast again because it's open source system, simple, it's not as easy to hack because there's not enough people on it, I guess, to get the attention of hackers. Once that gets there, though, and
Yeah.
who knows, doors come off. But
Well, simpler programs to have fewer avenues in that could be hacked. The
And
hackers are looking for.
and it's you always think of Microsoft
Gaps.
as free because I never paid for Microsoft Windows.
Right.
Because when you buy the computer, it comes
It's there.
with it.
Right.
They paid for it.
Yeah,
mean-
then nothing is free.
That's what I'm finding out. It's just heartening. Let's talk to Gilbert. He's free.
Gilbert,
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Hey, I'm listening to this and I have my pros and cons, and I'm going to go to sometimes we need that necessary evil to protect us, just like the military. We hate war, but it's a
but we got to be
necessary
ready
evil.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. And we've caught a lot of criminals because the cameras.
All right.
We have. We've caught a lot of cars causing accidents that hit and run.
Yeah.
And we caught them because of cameras.
I know how we
And-
could catch more, though. We could put a chip in everybody's neck and make them get rid of currency, and they could only use digital currency,
absolutely.
and we would know
Hey,
everything.
Hey,
What?
all the stuff we've had, remember all the sci-fi movies we've had
Yeah.
when back in the day with Flash Gordon, all these little satellites were running around and chasing people.
Yeah.
We call those drones now.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah, we
with me,
got 'em.
Russ?
Yeah. We got them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how many times have we heard we are going to have a chip in our hand? We are going to have a chip in our neck.
Yeah. I don't want that kind of convenience.
No, neither do I. And yeah. All those people that took COVID, you don't think they got something in their system? And they relied on this idiot. They relied on the government because the government was supporting this idiot.
Yeah.
Am I correct in
But
that?
I think so. Fauci Fauci was the head guy and all that, but he was propped up by a lot of others, and he ran it. I mean, he told the scientists what to say, basically, because he controls the money. They gave him control of the money.
So let me ask you a question, because I don't have it in front of me. How many Democratic senators are there in the Senate?
47.
46.
And
47.
47. Then
Think
how
so.
many in the Congress?
I don't know.
So let's say 50.
12. Some,
210, 220. So we got a total of 300 people in office
yeah.
that were supporting Fauci.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we got to deal with. And you're worried about cameras?
Well, we got to be worried about all of it, but
Yeah.
it's an interesting
agree.
conversation about, privacy and
Yeah, I believe
expectations of
privacy-
privacy.
And again, I don't like being tailed. I don't like being, but we do know that because of these cameras, we've got people, we convicted people because of them.
Yep.
How many car insurance companies have won cases because of the cameras? It's a necessary evil.
I'm a big supporter of police officers wearing cameras, because I think it protects the police officer, because they're always accused of abuse.
Yeah.
Well, he hit me or did that,
Yeah.
and it's he's wearing a camera. Oh, never mind.
That's two different things. We're talking traffic cameras versus cameras.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't like the invasion.
Mhm.
But like you said, and Chris said the other day, you're in public. So how is that invading your privacy?
That's right.
Now, if this camera is looking into my house, now they're invading my privacy, correct?
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. And there's case law on that. You can't get
Right.
you can get arrested as a peeping Tom. You can't do that.
Oh, yep, absolutely. But
Right.
if you're just have your camera, if the cops were watching my house with a camera, then that's an invasion unless he has a warrant.
Yeah. Yeah,
Now,
and
there's where I'm
then
at
there'll be a
with this.
knock on the door.
Yeah.
You'll know.
At 2:00 in the morning.
You'll know.
Yeah.
That's
But
right.
there's where I am with that. And I am constitutionist.
Yeah.
I am Tea Party. I am a conservative.
Mhm.
So like I say, sometimes you just got to look at it. And I agree with Benjamin Franklin said, those that give up liberty for security.
Yeah, it's reserved neither, right? And now we're trying to figure out, is this giving up liberty?
Right. And again, back in those days, we had a different environment
Yeah.
all the way around.
Well,
All the way around versus what we have today. Because the bad guy is lurking. The bad guy's going to do what he can to benefit himself.
buddy, I think it was more dangerous back in colonial times than it is now.
I think so
You
too.
think so?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Go back and look at some of the numbers. It was bad. It was bad.
Yep.
But and that's why they had
Like-
police everywhere. I mean, police were on street corners, or
Oh,
military
yeah.
on street
Oh,
corners.
yeah.
They were all over the place.
Oh yeah. Back then. But like I said, you had all those Democrats in both House and Senate that were supporting one guy that fed that lie to Americans, and Americans just ate it up. They
Yeah.
lapped it up like chicken noodle soup because they believed in them. And all this time, they knew they were lying. So that's what we're dealing with, Russ.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate
All
it.
right. I'll
Thank you, sir.
continue.
Bye. Deadwood, South Dakota. There was a television series about Deadwood. Do you remember?
Right.
Do you
I
remember?
heard about
Did you
it.
did you hear?
I
see
never
it?
watched it, but I heard.
It was supposed to be as
I've been
realistic.
to Deadwood.
I've been there.
Yeah.
It's still dead. It was supposed to be, based on real times and everything. Obviously, they took some artistic liberties, but it's based on real time and all that. But it kept showing just people getting killed,
Yeah.
all the time. But statistically, there were like 500 people a year that got murdered in Deadwood, of a town of 5,000.
But, that's the Wild West. So
That was
wasn't-
real wild.
That wasn't colonial.
No.
The
You're right.
colonial times. I would much rather be here than there.
Yeah, and we all see
For all
the
kinds of reasons.
the old movies, the Wild West, and playing poker with a gun, shooting somebody for you're cheating and shoot them,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But some of that's based on reality.
Oh yeah,
It was
absolutely is.
it was a rough
Well,
place.
you know, we were talking about, in the colonial towns, they'd have, lots of police and, military all over. In the West, there might be one marshal for, 100
That's all right.
miles.
They had more
So,
vigilantes than we could
Yeah.
handle, and they could get a posse together real quick. Like, hey, we're gonna go chase this guy. We got anybody who wants to go? A lot of people with guns volunteer. Those things really happen.
They did.
Now we got cameras.
But we still have a little bit of Wild West going on. You go into some neighborhoods and they don't need to call the cops because they're going to call the ambulance after they take care of you themselves. So
Just know where you're at.
yeah,
Be careful. 21 people are indicted after a federal task force leads to ends in a year-long gun probe of trafficking in Arizona and Mexico, which was going on during
I'm surprised there's only
during
21
Obama.
indicted.
There was that whole
Oh, it's been going on for a long
trafficking
time.
thing that was put together by the government because we were supposed to track the
yeah.
guns. Remember?
Yeah,
I forget what
and
that's
they're letting the
called.
guns go out.
Yeah, but then we never tracked them.
Right.
We just got to let them go. Grand jury indicted 21 people for conspiracy to unlawfully buy firearms and other crimes. And we know it's been going on. There's a lot of need for firearms in the South because the cartels are growing and they need to arm all their people.
And the cartels need to be armed too. So.
Well, that's what I mean. They need to arm the cartels. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Timothy Cochran, a U.S. attorney for Arizona, said that the defining feature of this investigation is that it encompasses the full firearms trafficking ring, from the fraudulent straw purchasers in Phoenix to the firearms buyer in Mexico, and each smuggling link in between. So that was pretty in depth. I mean, the one that Obama did, they forgot to track it into Mexico. They tracked it being sold.
I'd expect there to be more than 21 people invited.
Well, this maybe it was a small one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just maybe just had a few things. Well, they did do a raid. They had the ATF, Homeland Security investigations. They more than 125 bullets were seized. Man, that's like my closet.
125.
125,000. 125,000.
Okay. I've got 125 bullets.
Yeah, I might have 125,000. I don't know. AJ Gibbs, special agents ATF in Phoenix, he said the amount of ammunition that our law enforcement partners ended up seizing totally nearly 5,000 pounds or 2.5 tons of ammunition. That's a lot of ammo.
That is a lot of ammo.
They got more than 100 firearms, including at least one 50 caliber rifle.
Wow. That's some heavy duty stuff.
Yeah, but in Arizona, I mean, at least the people I know, when you start talking about numbers of firearms, what's too many? I mean, I don't know. I don't know anybody that would say, "Oh, that's outrageous to have 100 firearms." They would say, "Wow, that's great. I'd like to see them." Because there's something special if you're buying that many.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, and at least 150 caliber rifle. And I've known people that have 100 firearms. I mean, I don't have as many as I did. I used to have 20, probably.
I think I've got 6.
Yeah. Well, it's a 4-bedroom house. You need 6.
Well,
you need at least 6.
I have different purposes. I know people that collect them and they just like to have all these different handguns. So
Sure.
I've got one handgun, I've got one 22, I've got one shotgun. I just have one of the different types that I need for the different purposes. So I don't really collect them. I have them for function.
My needs are simple. I just need everything that's new and different. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Well, that's the same
Just
gun.
that. Everything that's new and different.
A
This
different
one's
color.
different. It's a different gun. The one I have now is not like this.
Right.
Actually, I do see a gun that I like, and I can't remember the name of it. My concealed carry, normal concealed carry, has 6 rounds.
Uh-huh.
It's a 9mm, and I like it. I like it and all, but now I see one that's the same weight and size as mine that carries like 19 rounds.
Ooh, that's cool.
That is very cool.
Do you think there's going to be? I was thinking of this the other day when that shooting in the In-N-Out Burger in Idaho, and that civilian engaged the suspect.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be a rise in people getting concealed carry permits?
I think there's always a little bump after something like that.
People are
But
like,
we don't.
I could be the hero. That's the wrong attitude.
Well, and that guy would train himself too.
Yeah,
yeah. He
Well,
actually took lessons.
Because he actually witnessed a public shooting.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Right.
And
he
that
said, "I'm not going to let that
inspired him
happen to me. I'm going to be ready."
Yeah, and
he was.
Yeah, and I saw his tactics. I was like, that guy's doing a good job. He was aimed in. He was proper stance. Just doing a great job of protecting the people around him. I thought he was
impressive.
Yeah. But he did it the right way. He
Right.
got trained. The idea of just I'm going to go out and get a gun and carry it around.
No,
Without being trained, that is scary.
it's very scary. And I'll go through times where I don't fire my gun for a while. And I've actually called Nicole Wilkinson, say, "Look, I just haven't been in a range in 2 years. Run me through a ringer." And she does. She starts out with a unloaded gun, show me how you handle it, to a plastic bullet, and eventually gives me one bullet. She goes from the very basics. Checking she's safety. I mean, she's trained.
And that's not bad.
It's all good.
To get back to because it's the basics that really keep you solid and grounded in gun safety. So no, that's great. That's fantastic that you do that. So
yeah, I need to do it again. It's time. Helen is not a big gun. I mean, she has gun.
Right.
I don't think she's ever fired it.
In the range?
Right. It's nothing she uses for personal protection. Right. I mean, it's not on her purse or anything like that. But I don't know. I'd like to take her out though, and
it'd be fun.
Fire a gun. Oh yeah. Oh, I think it's good.
Yeah, we go out to a dare range, fairly often, and just shoot gun. That's what this scar up here is for. I got a.
Oh really? That's nice.
Scope bite. Yeah. Because I trained without a scope. And so I had the scope and I was aiming in and bam.
Too bad that's not on video. You got that privacy though.
My family will describe it to you in detail.
And
thought it was hilarious.
And when I was talking to Madison on the privacy thing, I mentioned the iPhone with the camera.
Right.
She didn't really know how to answer that, except it's private. So not when you put it on YouTube.
Right.
How many people showed up on YouTube that didn't know they were going to be on YouTube that day?
Yeah.
And
those get tracked too. With the AI searching through facial recognition and finding all these videos and pictures that people have posted online, and they can track you that way too. And the question of security, privacy in public, years ago, like probably the 90s, there was a big thing with people doing cameras near the ground to get shots up women's
girl skirts. Yeah. Now that
and they were saying, they're in public.
Yes, they are.
And that was actually debated. I was like, that is beyond.
I'm glad they have a debate so they can figure it out and say, you're a pervert, you're going to jail. Because you have an expectation that no one's going to do that.
Exactly. Yeah. Just because you're in public doesn't mean you have no expectation of privacy.
Right.
Just like you were saying with the sensor that can see, through, it doesn't, get the color and everything, right? But it gets the shape. That's an expectation that's not going to be out there.
I don't know that technology is illegal. To own
sensor?
What, a camera that could actually see through clothing.
Well, they can identify shape through clothing, maybe. But,
But I think Sony put out a camera years ago that actually had a ultra red or some kind of filter on it that actually did that, and they recalled them. Good for Sony.
Yeah,
that would have been another deal.
Yeah, and the expectation of privacy is actually pretty easy to define. If you don't expect somebody to be able to see,
if I'm alone,
then I have an expectation of privacy.
When you go into a public bathroom, you have an expectation. There's no cameras. You've got privacy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places you have an expectation of privacy. If you're renting a home from a homeowner and you find out later he put cameras in there to spy on you, he's in trouble. That's an expectation of privacy.
Yeah, the Airbnbs that debate came up again because they're like, well, we need to protect our property,
No.
and we don't know these people, and
They get them to
it
sign
depends
a
on the
waiver.
state. Yeah,
Get them to sign a
depends on
waiver.
the state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's what you're going
What
to
the
do,
laws
say,
are,
yeah,
yeah.
I need to keep cameras. There's cameras around the house for your security. Sign this waiver. You know they
Yep.
exist.
Yep.
So don't run around in the hot tub unclothed and think, I had an expectation nobody would be outside cameraing me, but put the cameras on. Yeah. I don't know where it's going to end up, but
well, and
it
it's not
seems,
gonna,
it seems to move forward a little bit and back and
Yeah.
forward a little
Yeah,
bit and back, forward a little bit and back.
that's what I was just going to say. It's not going to end up anywhere.
No.
It's going to be an issue that's constantly.
But the technology is so cheap, so easy.
Mhm.
You can't shut it off.
No.
Completely.
No, we got to find balance.
I mean, what are you going to do? Sell
that-
every iPhone from now on and say they can't have cameras?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine not having a camera on your phone?
Buddy,
I wouldn't
we
be able to
both grew up
function.
with no cameras on our phones.
Yeah.
In fact, we grew up with no phones.
I don't know how.
Yeah. It's a different
I
time.
mean, I've been on my phone like 4 times already.
Yeah.
Looking up details about this, that, or the
Yeah.
other. How could I function without it?
Yeah. I mean, like, used to sit down for hours at the butter churn and not have a phone. It's amazing how you did that.
One of the ones I really like is the Google Lens, where you can take a picture of something and tell Google, tell me about this, and it'll tell you all kind. I've used it to identify plants and animals. We were driving up to Montana, to Monument Valley,
Uh-huh.
and I took a picture of a rock formation way out. I had to zoom in and get it, and I just was curious, how does that kind of rock formation form?
Okay.
And it not only explained it to me, but then it said, and that particular rock formation is such and such,
Right.
located at this location. I was like,
Right.
it knows
Wow.
everything.
What about that rock's privacy? Is that fair?
He's just minding his own
Yeah,
business.
I'm out there,
But he's in public.
How
So.
dare you invade me? No, I've been using that a little bit more. I'm starting to get a little more familiar. I still need to take some kind of class on it, AI.
Oh,
what
there's
all it can
so much it can do. Yeah. And that's why we need data centers. But we talked about that last week. So.
My wife Helen she loves gardening.
Uh-huh.
So her kids sent her some for her birthday, some gardening stuff, gloves and all kinds of stuff. So she went out in the backyard, put it all on so I could take a picture and send it to the kids as she got it and all that. But then I went to AI and I said, put her in a jungle with a monkey. And it did it.
Okay.
Yeah, they said, wow, the garden grew fast.
Well, I've shown you the AI pictures my daughter-in-law did of for my Dungeons and Dragon character. Put my face on the character. It looks legit.
Good.
The technology, is just
Well,
jumping.
I mean, it's been doing great. It makes Mitch
It's
McConnell look
amazing.
like he's alive.
Did you hear? I think it was last week. Somebody was questioning,
Yeah.
because they put out another picture of him in the hospital. And they're like, it looks just like the picture from like a month ago.
I remember
It's
that.
Just
And he's in the hospital and he didn't have any armbands on for identification, which you can't be
that's
in a
questionable.
hospital.
Yeah.
You can't be in a hospital.
Well, I don't
without
know.
that.
Maybe
What?
Mitch McConnell can be unidentified.
I mean, I think those pictures add to the conspiracy instead
Yeah.
of taking it away.
Yeah.
Because they just don't look right.
Well, I don't know how politically. I don't know how he survived those moments where he was just staring.
They wheeled him
what
off.
was it, like last year,
Yeah.
a year or two ago, and mid sentence just stopped, stared,
He froze.
and everyone's like,
froze up.
"What's going on with this?"
Yeah.
Guy? And he did it again, a couple weeks
But you
later.
realize he's been in the hospital well over a month now.
Yeah.
And nobody's spoken to him. I mean, they've spoken. There's been a couple people who got
Right.
phone calls,
Well, they said they did.
but
yeah.
but nobody's seen him.
Yeah.
Now, how can nobody see him? And you got the governor of the state saying, I demand we have proof of life. And
Right.
to my knowledge, he just got a picture.
Well, and
Why wouldn't you invite the governor over? Say, come by and say hello if you're up and talking.
Somebody, one of the comedians was laughing about that because he sent it in a letter. He's, we need to know if this person's alive. Let me write a letter that's going to take days to get delivered.
Yeah. Well, and then Mitch McConnell does a picture holding up a paper to show the date, like he's a ransom guy. I got ransomed. I don't know what's going on with that thing, but nothing looks right. Nothing looks right. They may be
hinky.
Purposely trying to confuse us, but I predict he's not going to be walking into Congress anytime soon. I doubt if he ever does.
He's not. He's already announced he's not going to be reelected.
I think we got James Fav. Jim, good morning, sir.
Hi, someone told me to call this number. I don't.
Yeah, well, it's a scam.
Yeah. We're gonna have all your money within 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think
really.
we're downloading it right now. Actually.
And I was just on the phone with the chairman of my organization, who had been a salesperson in the past, and I've done sales, and we were talking about sales. So that's kind of fortuitous. She said that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
how
you doing?
Oh,
we're doing well.
We're doing real. I really want to know what you think about the socialists of America now, the Democrats of Social America. They're winning things and getting a lot of press.
Was it Michigan?
Yeah. Are they getting ground? Is it something that is going to fundamentally change our Constitution or something?
Well, they're getting ground in the Democrat Party.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me analyze that part of it first,
okay,
and then go more broadly. They're gaining ground in the Democrat Party for two reasons. One, they're well organized in the Democrat Party. So, that is something people need to pay attention to. They have been able, particularly with younger people
Mm-hmm.
who are too stupid to know that if government runs things, it's not good for them.
Right.
You remember how I think it was Winston Churchill who said, if you're young and not a liberal, you have no heart. And if you're old and not a conservative, you have no mind. Right.
Yeah, something like
that. So they're grabbing into that energy. Well, they're doing a good job at it. There have been some things culturally that have brought that about. I mean, we've had some younger people are experiencing something of a brick wall in rising up in our present economy and culture.
Right.
And that is actually a very real thing. You know, this is why, although I think wrongly, this is why Republicans are trying to focus so much on housing, because we built this expectation that everyone needs to own a home at some point in their life.
Yep.
And I think that that's not necessarily the case in the type of economy that's not rural, right? We don't live in a rural economy. We don't live in an agrarian society anymore. In that society, you had to have land for 90% of the people just to be able to do anything. That's not necessary right now. I'm not saying I don't want young people to have that hope. I think they should, but that has to happen through free market processes, not through jimmy rigging that happens through the government. And the jimmy rigging that tried to address that in the 90s and even as back as far as the Carter administration was for the government to make banks make loans, essentially, which led to the 2007-8 financial crisis, frankly. But there is some brick wall in that for young people right now. There are a few other things that are a concern. And we've got about 20 or 30 years of socialism and communism being taught in the monopoly of public schools, right?
Yep.
The government education is the monopoly. But so some of that's going on. They're digging into that and organizing well. But the other reason that they are expanding influence in the Democrat Party is, to be candid, the Democrat Party stands for what they stand for.
Yeah.
They just haven't been as explicit about it as we're seeing right now. So that's the other reason. Now, so that's the first factor. And it is a real influence. And it is very concerning that because they are gaining ground in the Democrat Party, it is giving them a voice nationally that they never had until this election cycle.
Yeah.
But
that is concerning.
But it is causing some division in the Democrat Party.
Oh, yeah.
And they're kind of going along with it, and they come out, well, we're a big tent, we're a big tent. Well, I like to think we're a big tent Republican, but I don't endorse communism.
Well, the reality is that, yeah, and you're all right, there are some schisms forming, and you got James Carville out and Bill Maher making it very clear they'll have nothing to do with it. And so that will have some influence in the party. So what's the bigger effect? What's the broader effect? Well, the concern on the broad effect is that Democrats are never going to kick these people out. They're never going to try to shut them out. And quite frankly, the people who are expressing their discontent with the DSA in the Democrat Party, they have no power to be able to oppose it because all the energy right now is with them, which began with the squad and began with the inroads and power and influence that Bernie Sanders has been able to develop this century in his runs for president. And, and he inspired a lot of this. So they're never going to break away from that, so you get to the broader thing. Well, what effect will it have on the elections? I'm keeping my eye out very closely for what I think is likely to be an ick factor amongst the American people. Because I don't think the American people embrace these ideologies, or at least not as expressed by these people. And notice El Sayed, who just won the Democrat nomination in the Senate race in Michigan, shows he's distancing himself from DSA wherever he can, because he knows that people are going to negatively react to that and are negatively reacting to it.
I have not
so
seen
I think that ick factor is growing.
And he's embraced the policies, though.
Well, he has, but notice his more recent comments are showing him saying, maybe people misunderstand. He's kind of hedging it a little bit. Even Mamdani is doing just a little bit of that.
I think he wanted to win the primary, but now he needs to win the general.
Well,
so
of course.
So he embraced it, among the Democrats to win the primary, and now he needs to distance himself.
A lot of Republicans celebrated El Sayed's win because that's good for them, because we're going to easily beat him or something like that. And that gets the hair on my back of my neck stand up when people say that.
I think it always should, because here's the other problem. Republicans suck at elections. I mean, they really suck at it. And I will say this: I do want Mike Rogers to win that, particularly now with El Sayed being the nominee, because I think he's dangerous.
Yeah.
But Mike Rogers is as much of both a deep state hack and a rhino hack as you'll ever find in the Republican Party. So I've never been a fan of Mike Rogers. I don't like the guy politically. He is a good campaigner, though. We'll see how he's happened. So the dynamic in Michigan, actually, I think and this may translate nationally, but one of the dynamics that's happening in the Democrat Party is the areas that have a larger, certainly the areas like Dearborn, Michigan, that have a large Islamic population. El Sayed's winning them pretty sizably in the Democrat primary. But he did not win areas that have a large black population. And I think you're going to see a black revolt against this kind of socialism. Because keep in mind, even though black people so persistently vote Democrat, you still have large populations of church-going black church members, who are not going to be so much for this. Like they accept abortion, which I think is unbiblical and wrong, but they don't quite accept socialism as it's being laid out by these people. And the other thing that they notice, because they live it, even in places like Dearborn, is the Islamic population doesn't like them. Like there is a black Muslim movement out there that Louis Farrakhan had obviously spearheaded and led for so long, but that's still a small portion of the black population. You'll have some consistency there, but most black folks, they're not into this kind of communism. So I think we'll see how that dynamic plays out. But I'm going to be very curious in November to see what the black vote actually does, and it'll be a combination of expansion of voting for Republicans in races, but it'll also, I think, be a potential lowering of voter turnout in the black population, which Democrats have to have the black population to do well. So I don't know precisely how that's going to play out yet, but these are signs that I'm seeing that make me wonder if Republicans can win in spite of themselves.
Real quick question. Last year when Mamdani was elected and he declared himself a socialist, and everyone was shocked. How is a socialist going to get elected to anything in this country? And he was like the only one that anyone was talking about. And now we've got this whole organization, DSA. How long have they been growing? How have they been able to organize themselves basically secretly without getting attention? And now all of a sudden they're on the scene. Were they just biding their time, or what were?
Well, no, they found a path, and it takes time to build a path in
Mhm.
politics. It takes work and persistent effort. Rashida Tlaib, a Michigan congressman who's part of the squad, she's been a vocal DSA member for years.
Oh, really?
Same with Ilhan Omar. So, and then Bernie Sanders is obviously aligned with them because he is a communist. I mean, people forget this.
Right.
But he had his honeymoon in Moscow
Yeah.
during the Cold War.
Yeah. Yeah, he loves
So that is, I mean, this has been building for some time.
Really?
It takes time for these movements to grow. And
Because
then
it
they
feels like
will
it started
suddenly
with
emerge.
Mamdani, but
Well, he's
there's
the poster
just-
child for
yeah,
it right now.
but there's just so much that they're doing now that it had to have been going on for a while, but just kind of under the radar apparently.
Yeah, but he is operating like a communist.
Yeah.
Did you see? It was just this week, I think, that he removed local business leaders from the mayor's charitable whatever group that was there in New York City, and you had some key Democrat aligned, probably business people that were on that committee. He removed every one of them.
Huh.
And now I saw someone post, it's just like communism. They replaced the, what was the terminology? They replaced the kulaks with the apparatchiks. I mean, it is a very communist idealism that is playing out there. And it's aggressively so, but as I said, when Cuomo ran against Mamdani for the mayor's race, Cuomo lost for two reasons. Well, first of all, I said, well, pick your side, Cuomo or Mamdani. One's going to sound communist, one's going to be communist. And I've been saying for a long time that the Democrat Party is trying to overthrow the American Republic.
Yeah.
That is their job. And that was an Obama effort. It got on steroids. And we're living with that this century. But the other reason Cuomo lost, and this is still a key factor, and we have to pay attention to it in our politics. Mamdani won because he won heartily amongst what are basically not New Yorkers, like people who've lived in New York for long periods of time and weren't Islamic or illegals. They voted strongly for Cuomo, but there's been such an influx into New York City of people who frankly aren't citizens, but people also who didn't live there and are immigrants from elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's what brought Mamdani over the top. And that dynamic is playing out. This is why the Save America Act is so important.
Right.
Because that is playing out. And these municipal elections, including in New York City, but also in places like California and other blue states, municipal elections allow non-citizens to vote.
Is the Save America Act going to get through as it did?
I don't think the concept's dead. I think if Republicans keep Congress, that the current pressure will remain and should remain to get that passed in the next Congress. The problem is, can Republicans keep Congress in a year where, like, somewhere on the 80 to 90% of midterm elections go for the opposite party in the White House?
Yeah.
That dynamic is still real, and it's still a challenging one. But if they keep Congress, I think the pressure will be there to do it. And Mike Lee and my friend Jim Banks, well, they're both my friends. Jim Banks, Indiana senator. I've known Jim since he was an intern in a congressional office in Bloomington, and others. There's more than a dozen that have lined up to say, no, we want to forego August break to get this done. That's growing. That momentum's growing.
Yeah.
If you see Mike Lee's posts on X at Based Mike Lee, he's expressing, and I'm also, and people I talk to, seeing that momentum there. I mean, there's a chance. Listen, I've maintained, I think that it's existential that Save America Act pass, but it's also existential in my mind that the effort be undertaken to do so, and that we overcome John Thune's misrepresentations and frankly lies, that it takes 60 votes to pass legislation. It does not take 60 votes to pass legislation in the Senate. It takes 50 plus 1, and the 60 vote rule is only to stop debate. But that can be overcome if you require the debate to continue on, and that's been Mike Lee's point the whole time.
Well, didn't they put it, the SAVE Act, into, I forget the term,
reconciliation?
A reconciliation.
They're trying
bill,
to put portions
so they could bypass
not entirely. Yeah. So reconciliations, the rule that the Senate has put into place since it's called the Byrd Rule, that's been in existence for about 50 plus years now, is that the reason they did reconciliation rule is to say, listen, there are going to be things that we cannot reconcile in our budget process, or changes that need to be made, to get certain things funded in a certain way, or to make adjustments to funding. So let's just say you can do a majority vote to reconcile the financial fiscal issues.
Right.
And bypass the filibuster.
Right.
That's what the Byrd Rule, in effect, is designed to do.
All right.
The Save America Act provisions that are put in there are not policy changes, but they are funding changes.
Right.
Oh,
so it is a comprehensive. So like voter ID requirement. Well, it would not put a voter ID requirement in elections. It would just not fund certain things that the government funds in the states, which they shouldn't fund anyway, by the way, if voter ID isn't implemented. So it's a sword of Damocles more than it is a actual, so to speak, gun in the face. You either do it or you're going to jail type thing.
And the parliamentarian may not let it in anyway.
Well, so I don't give a damn what the parliamentarian says. So the parliamentarian does not run the Senate. The members run the Senate. Yeah. The Constitution's very clear on this. It's the members who make the rules, right? You can change the rules if you want to. And or you can, if John Thune had the cojones, he would ignore what the parliamentarian says, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Democrats do it all the time. They did it for parts of Obamacare that were done through reconciliation, that were actual policy changes. They just went ahead and just pressed it through at a second pass on Obamacare. So, I don't care what the parliamentarian says. The job of the parliamentarian is to say, here are the rules you laid out, and the bill aligns or doesn't align with it in these ways. That's all the parliamentarian does.
Well,
so, but the zombie filibuster, as Mike Lee calls it, which is you allow people to filibuster over successive days instead of having to filibuster within the current legislative day. And a legislative day is not necessarily a calendar day. You can do certain ways of recessing to continue debate on the same legislative day into the next calendar day or successive calendar days. I mean, that's what you're doing with the filibuster. But the zombie filibuster says anytime there's a threat that you can't get to 60 votes, well, then, we'll just give it to you. That's essentially what they do. Yeah. And they don't have to do that. That's what Mike Lee's been arguing about over and over again, is keep the legislative day going. The rules in the Senate roughly are that each senator has 2 chances to speak. And once every senator has exhausted their 2 chances to speak, or doesn't assert their first or second or both chances to speak, then debate's over and you go to an up or down vote. That's what the filibuster's doing.
Yeah.
So they haven't been willing to do a real filibuster. The actual filibuster rules are not being followed in the Senate. John Thune is just totally misrepresenting this.
Yeah.
Because, if you did the actual filibuster rules, then people would actually have to speak for 24 hours if they can keep up with it. Otherwise, you just keep moving on in the debate, and it might make the process slow. but you have to have the willingness to go all the way through that and keep the legislative day going on a bill. And they're just not willing to do it. They're just willing to concede that we can't get 60 votes now and we're too tired and we don't have to don't want to have to deal with it. That's what's really going on there. It's wimpiness is what it is.
Yeah. The process might have been slowed, but it would be done by now. It's been
and
so
it's
long.
tiring.
Yeah.
And it's tiring. You can't do your 3-day work week and your roughly 4 to 6 hours of debate on each of those 3 days, right? You'd have to go all day debates and you'd have to stay for continual days. You might be able to get a weekend off, but you're going to have to work 5 days a week, et cetera. They're just not willing to do that. That's fundamentally the problem.
I have an idea on how we can increase our chances for the midterm. I think all Trump has to do is end the Iranian war and get gas down to $2.50 a gallon.
Why doesn't he
I'll tell
just
you
do
what, that would do it. That would do it. I mean, listen, I think the chances of Republicans losing if the Iran war ends and prices, I don't know if we can get to 250, but I mean, all they got to do is just not be threatened to go back up to 4.
Right.
That would probably do enough. And then we'd be talking about the things that matter in the election.
Right.
I'm having this running argument with some friends of mine who are very liberty-minded like me. One of them is a college professor, solid, wonderful conservative, libertarian-minded conservative. The other one actually ran statewide for libertarian offices in a certain state. I'm not going to say who they are. But, we're having an ongoing debate about the Iran war. And one of the things that I'm saying is ultimately, although there are important international things that take place, and that's a critical part of what a president does, the American people, I mean, they're concerned about Iran, but only because it's hot right now. But they're not ultimately concerned about Iran. Iran shows up as second or third in the list of what are your most important issues right now. And the economy remains on the top. And one of the big problems Republicans are having, and I think that Donald Trump is pretty ticked off at, as you can see in his reactions, is that Republicans just are not messaging well what's actually been done. There's so many good economic indicators in what's taking place right now with day-to-day lives. The only one, and it's a troubling one, but the only one that really bothers Americans is that once or twice a week, they're filling up their tank at nearly twice what they were paying before. And they look at their pocketbook when they go to the gas tank and they're like, and they have to wince every single time they fill it up. Yep. That's a challenge for people. And that's a real one. I mean, but again, it's ultimately an economic issue. And there are so many things that people are experiencing positively in their economics that the Republicans could make a strong case. The one big beautiful bill didn't go where I want it to, but it did go a long way for a lot of people, and it is creating jobs, and particularly because of the immediate expensing for capital expenditures and businesses. That creates jobs. It creates good jobs in the case of data centers and stuff like that. Another big effort that is being funded by Chinese communist-aligned American business people like Neville Roy Singham, who lives in Shanghai and is a billionaire because of his connections with the CCP. He's funding this anti-data center stuff, and that's the problem too. But net, things are good for Americans right now, with some certain problems, and the deficit's one of them, because it inevitably increases inflation when you have deficit spending in government, and particularly at the levels that we're doing it right now at $2 trillion a year, which Donald Trump has not fixed. And that is a true negative against him and Republicans, as they've been unwilling to do that. Now, Trump's been doing that in the executive branch, but he can't do it in the legislative branch. And that's why Democrats are at the lowest levels of popularity that they've ever been at. That tells me the ick factor that I talk about with the DSA is entrenched in the American public. They're at their lowest levels, but Republicans aren't at high levels. They're at pretty low levels too. They're maybe 20 points ahead, but that's on a negative, 25 to 35 compared to the negative 45 to 50 with Democrats.
Right.
So there are dynamics that can work for Republicans right now, but they're not really focusing on the things that matter to people. And Save America Act is one of those, but it's also the fiscal situation. And here we got a reconciliation. You have a chance to cut a lot of money in this, and they're not doing that. They're just doing the Save America Act stuff only, and not as effectively as it needs to be done.
Is Katie Hobbs in trouble enough to pick a lieutenant governor that's a Republican?
Mhm.
Well, she's in trouble, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That race is rated a toss-up right now. Andy Biggs, who I think is a hero, is going to put together a good campaign. And I think that, I actually, if I had to put money on it, I'd say he's going to win that. And if she chooses a Republican, well, that's not going to draw in Republicans. I mean, it'll draw a few McCain Republicans, but it's not enough, I don't think, to overcome the capability Andy Biggs has. He's raising money, and he's got a good message. He's well liked. His district is a key Republican. His congressional district is a key Republican district. I used to live in it actually many years ago, and I think that he can pull it off. And again, I don't think Democrats are motivated in Arizona. Katie Hobbs also has a potential criminal. Well, a real criminal probe hanging over her head.
Right.
The Democrat Attorney General is on her,
investigating her.
So
she's dragging her
I think
feet.
Andy can pull it off. I think there are a lot of dynamics that can work his way. And if that starts to show up in the national discussion, as it inevitably will, then that helps Republicans too. You know, stories like that are pretty good.
Yeah. Well, sir, I know you have another place to go. Thank you for your time. And I didn't even introduce you this time, but Jim Pfaff with the conservativecaucus.org, right?
Yes, theconservativecaucus.org or .com.
Oh, either one work? They both work.
Yeah, the Conservative Caucus.
Yeah, I appreciate all your time, Jim. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Take
It's
care,
always
bud.
good to talk
All
to you.
right, bye-bye.
Okay.
Yeah, he had to go. I've kept him an hour before.
Yeah, I know.
Because
Last
I
week.
have an hour's worth
Last
of
week.
stuff
Yeah.
to talk about. He's so enthused when he's talking about the politics. He loves it, obviously. He loves what he does. And he's engaged in those stuff we don't know.
Well informed. He goes deep on information. But and I don't think we brought up a single topic that he didn't have information. Well, he didn't.
I'm going to try
apparently
next
he didn't
time.
know about this Giles guy, because he was like, if she does
Well,
it.
has she really picked it yet, or that's just a rumor?
No, yeah, it's.
She's picked him for
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't sure about that.
But it's recent, you know. So yeah, there's a lot of things out there.
I had a message from Edward I didn't put out, but
Uh-oh.
we were talking about privacy on the cameras
Keep-
and everything
keeping
out there,
his
tracking
comment private.
your number on your car, your license number. He says, if you want to protect your privacy from flock cameras, you can simply register your car via a numbered shell corporation that is wholly owned by a Panamanian company that operates out of Turks and Caicos or whatever, and then shut that company down every 2 years and open up another one. I think he does that.
He seems to be well informed in the process.
Well, I think he does that. I think he does. I think they don't know who he is at times. You know, they pull him over. I don't know. Who are you?
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, my understanding is that that's the way a lot of our spooks operate. You know, government agencies is doing that same confusion thing of shell companies that own the cars and nobody knows how to get a hold of them, and it's hard to figure out who that is. So there you go. You could put your truck
easy.
Your truck like that.
Anyone could do that. Yeah.
Or you just swap your license plates with your neighbors and do something bad.
Or you just let your
get them in trouble.
You let the sun cook your license plate to the point that it's not readable anymore.
I think it's still illegal. I think you'll still get a motorcycle cop pull you over until you get that fixed. Yeah, get that taken care of. You know, you can't put anything over anymore. You know, people used to put some plastic covering over or something, and it made it hard to reflect or something. Yeah, you get a ticket for that too.
Well, and years ago they had that thing where the license plate holder couldn't cover the word Arizona.
Right, because some of them would overlap.
Yeah, but that was a ridiculous law because we're in Arizona. Odds are, if you pull somebody
Is
over,
that what you
they're
told the
from
judge?
Arizona.
Did that help?
Well, I didn't have a violating license plate holder. But the states you need to see are the other states. But the law didn't apply to somebody from out of state.
Oh, it didn't?
No.
Okay.
It only applied to people in Arizona. And if you pull somebody over in Arizona, odds are they're Arizona.
Yeah.
So it was a dumb law.
Maybe. Tell it to the judge.
I did get pulled over a few years, about a year ago,
What?
and for speeding. And
Oh, I
was
thought it'd
like,
be for driving a totaled truck down the street.
no, it's not completely. Well, actually, it probably would be considered totaled.
Yeah, if it was in an.
It cost more to fix it all. But no, it wasn't in a collision. It's just
it's heavy used.
But yeah,
Heavy used.
used well.
Yeah, that's good.
But I was told the officers that there was nobody around. I was telling the judge, I was like, the
Tell
laws
the
are,
judge.
I did. I was like, the laws are here to protect us from each other. There's nobody
Yeah.
else around. There's no, officers have discretion to say, you know what, there's no real problem here. He could have let me go,
But he used his discretion
he
not
used his
to.
discretion not
Yeah.
to, but I was doing it. I'm not arguing that. I'll pay the fine. I expect to.
Did you pay the fine?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
But I
You wanted to get your 2
I
cents
just
out.
wanted that said. And then I told him, and my brother-in-law was a police chief, and he said, always fight your ticket because there's no harm in not.
Okay.
If they don't show up,
Don't you pay a little
it's
bit more for the
dismissed.
court cost?
Nope.
No, same
Yep.
price.
So if the officer can't show up for one reason or another, they dismiss it.
And in Delaware, there was an extra charge for court fees.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
if you
don't
went
do
to
that
fight
here. They don't hear.
it. I'm still not good. I don't have the time.
Well, that's what a lot of people do.
I want to talk about deportation for a minute. We just deported a girl to Canada, which gets
Yeah.
national news. You saw that one?
Yeah.
Boy, I would like to be
That's
the one that drives her back, get out, take her to the border, get out,
Is she
A
the
Canadian.
one that slapped.
Yeah,
girl?
slapped a teenager.
Yeah.
And the teenager's crime that she felt needed to slap twice. Now she slapped her twice. She was wearing a pair of pants that said Trump and ICE.
Right.
Pants, which I would have applauded.
Right.
Her support and all that. Walked up and slashed her. Now she's a woman that is a Canadian citizen, not a U.S. citizen. Not that it makes any difference on slapping. You still shouldn't slap
Right.
anybody, for that. She had a visa to come to the United States in April of 2024 and stayed past the expiration date. The expiration date was that same year in September. So she got a visa till September 6th. She said, I like it here. I want to stay. And then she traveled around. She was in Texas. She was in different states and playing around and stuff. Have you seen her picture? I mean, she has
Yeah.
dyed hair and
Yeah.
she's very liberal and she hates Trump and just ran right up and slapped this teenage girl. And they decided to deport her. And I know her I don't know if it's a husband, boyfriend, whatever it is, was all but crying, like, that how bad the Trump administration is deporting people and all that.
You're welcome to follow her.
Until you see what kind of character she is.
Right.
And I know there's people on the left that would say, well, you still shouldn't be deported. That's not due process. And it was interesting in this article I read that the spokesperson for DHS said she received a full due process.
Yeah.
Like we have to explain that now
Right.
because all these people say due process. Well, they want due process like you do for a murder victim. It's 25 years for due process or something. No, due process when the judge says goodbye.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
due process.
Well, they want due process that says, no, you can stay. That's what they
Yeah.
want. If they didn't get that, then that must have been done.
Yeah. So due process was ordered to move on August 4th by an immigration judge to her home country of Canada. ICE will return her home as soon as possible. I'm sure people on the left says, well, what about appeals? What about appeals? I want more due process.
Right.
But no, she's gone.
Yep.
She's a guest. She's not a citizen. But Tracy started yelling at the team because she was wearing these patriotic colored sweatpants with the words of, Trump and ICE and all that. And stated the young woman was wearing sweatpants that read Trump and ICE. And she took issue with the group's patriotic colored political wording and then hit the teen twice with an open hand, once in the face, once in the body, and then fled the scene.
Yeah.
She just didn't flee far enough. Had she gotten back to Canada,
We'd have been okay. With
we'd have been okay. Come slap me. But she didn't. She was arrested days after the incident, charged with endangering the welfare of a child. That's really terrible.
It is.
I mean, the whole thing's terrible, but it's a child on top of it.
And, Canadians are probably upset because they're known for being nice people.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, everything's fine. We're happy. Well, you're nice. I'm nice. They're just,
Trudeau's nice.
I don't know him personally, but
Okay.
I'm just talking about the general,
okay.
the general feel of the country.
I don't know.
They don't like to cause trouble.
DHS also put out these notices where things just shows us the timing of it. They say under President Trump and Secretary Mullen, ICE is targeting the worst of the worst.
Mhm.
And they're doing it for this case.
And she is the worst.
I think so, but I'm not going to say that. But then they say nearly 70% of ICE arrests of illegal aliens charged or convicted of a crime in the U.S. Our message is clear. If you come to our country illegally and break our laws, we will find you. We will arrest you. We will deport you. But they got to get that 70% out there because the left says that only 5% of the deportees are convicted felons. Well, that's true, probably, but that wasn't the deal. The deal was illegal aliens that were charged or convicted of a crime. Could be a misdemeanor.
Right.
Yeah, it could be that you just slapped a minor.
Right.
That's not a felony.
Right.
But I don't think it's a felony.
I
Depends
don't
on
know,
how hard you slap her.
I guess.
I don't know.
But yeah, you're right. It's we didn't say they were going to be felons.
No, but that's what they
And
put it to because it makes it sound like,
Yeah.
well, they lied to us. ICE is lying to us. They're going after 95% aren't felons. Maybe.
But they were charged
Charged
and or convicted.
or convicted. And it says in the U.S. I didn't even know it was U.S. A lot of them were charged in the countries they fled.
Right.
Do we really want them to stay?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just brings up the question: why are they here in the first place? If they were charged in another country and came in, they shouldn't have been allowed in the first place. If they've been here illegally and got charged and convicted, they should have been sent back immediately.
But
we've just been collecting up this problem for decades,
and if you're here
and now we're fixing it, and it's going to hurt to fix it, but
if
we
you're
got
here,
to fix it.
if you're here illegally and get a DUI, you're gone.
Yeah.
And you should be.
You should be.
You shouldn't be here illegally. You can fix it. You can take care of it. I mean, there's green cards. There's ways to get things done. There's ways to apply. They don't do it.
Right.
They just sell fentanyl and deal drugs. Not all. There's some. There's some that do. And even like the MS-13 types and all the gangsters, the left sticks up for them too.
Yeah.
Like they don't want those guys going. Like it's just a Baltimore dad.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. But that's the times we live in. Be aware.
But, and they talk about the Democrats are supporting them. If you talk to legal immigrants, they want the illegals gone too, because it makes them look bad. The people that came went through the work and effort and procedures to get here legally. They don't like other people cheating the system. They don't like other people making things look bad. They don't like other people taking the jobs. They don't like any of the things that the illegal aliens are doing.
Well, they
any more than anyone else does. They want them gone too. So it's not.
And the amount of illegals
It's huge.
that are on welfare illegally, on Medicaid illegally, is huge, particularly in the Somalian community that they've looked at. And I forget the numbers. It was in the 80% something are all on government assistance. Well, that was never the deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and like Jim was saying a little bit ago, there's certain communities that will allow them to vote. So now they're even having control in the government that they shouldn't be involved in.
We're finding out they're voting illegally federally a lot. And now states are even coming up and turning themselves in. Well, we've got 6,000. What that tells me is you have a lot more.
Yeah.
and you don't want us to look because you've already confessed that you lied to us.
Yeah.
They need to look.
Or they're incompetent.
Well, they lied. They knew better. Even Mandani, who is anti license or identification to vote. He opened up his new. He's opening up his new grocery stores.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So he put in. Apparently, part of the policy is it's just for residents of New York City.
Right.
In other words, you can't come from New Jersey to get free or heavily discounted food.
Right.
You got to live in New York City. So you'll have to show an ID. Now that got a lot of attention and a lot of people screaming about it, like, well, particularly Republicans, like, wait a minute, you don't want an ID to vote, but you got to get an ID to get bananas,
Right.
you know? And they're trying to work around that a little bit. And they said, well, we're not going to have an ID. We're just, or whatever. But now it's, well, we'll have something that's kind of like library card-esque. What? Library card. Well, maybe we should have library card-esque to vote.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So they're all panicking a little bit, like, well, we're going to lose so much money on this food. We can't let it go to New Jersey because nobody likes Jersey. We can't let it go to New Jersey because people just drive New York for the day. So let's fill up the trunk on groceries.
Yeah. Well, and there's just so many instances where we have to show ID for this, that, or the other, but not for voting. And everyone understands it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the high end Democrats that are saying no, we're gonna.
We don't call them high end. We call them limos. Limo driving. I forget what they call them. Limousine.
Okay.
Something. I got it from. It was J.D. Vance. That I'll get to it, but go ahead.
Okay, so
Limousine socialist.
Limousine socialist. Well, they're the new breed, but
the limousine socialist.
But every study has shown that a large percentage of Democrats, registered Democrats, the everyday common people that are next door, they agree we should have voter ID in the law.
I got a lot of Democrats who live next door. I'm going to go ask them.
Yeah. The last I saw was 70% of Democrats, registered Democrats, agree we should have voter ID. There was a meme not too long ago, some restaurant that you could have like a subscription kind of thing where you could come in and get all you can eat or something like that. You had to show ID to get your benefit.
Oh, yeah.
To eat, I think it was like an Olive Garden to get, breadsticks.
It was Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Where you got unlimited spaghetti for whatever, and you had to show ID, and that lib went crazy on air.
Yeah, because you got to have.
What if I want to give my card to a poor person?
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly why you have to show ID.
But people are and. The establishment is what people used to call it, the establishment Democrats.
Is that what they call them now? Establishment.
Well, that's what they used to call them. Now we're calling them limo Democrats. But they're fighting the SAVE Act, even though their party as a whole doesn't want to fight it.
They trust you 100% when you vote, but not on anything else.
Right. Exactly.
Well, that's not the way the world works.
Well, but again, I go back. They're not really standing against the SAVE Act. They're standing against Trump. It's just Trump, anti-Trump.
I think it's deeper than that on this. I think if Trump left tomorrow, they'd still be against the SAFE Act because they know that there's a lot of cheating that goes on, and the SAVE Act may dry some of that up.
I don't know.
Because they benefit from not having a SAVE Act. They benefit, and that puts them in power, and they're going to take it.
Well, if Trump's gone, then Vance comes in, and people are just going to consider him like
no, they want this.
Trump.
They do not want the change. Democrats, there are some of them that have come out and said, if they pass the SAVE Act, we'll never be elected again to anything. there's I don't remember who, but there was one that said that, and they said out loud what they all know. Normally they don't say those things out loud, but there's more cheating going on than what we know, and California particularly has made laws to make cheating available to everybody. You can cheat, because you don't have to give your name, you don't have to give your ID, you can register without an address. You just say, I'm alive, I got a pulse, I'm going to vote. And they say, good, I know you won't lie because I trust everybody that's going to vote.
And I heard about this guy down the road. He's probably alive. I'm going to vote for him too.
Yeah, we're going to do that. It's gotten so sloppy and stupid. It's so obvious. But they fight for it tooth and nail like it's the most important thing in the world. There's a reason for that. It's more than just anti-Trump.
Here in Yuma, I came across the request for a mail-in ballot, and I was looking at it, and I didn't really pay too much attention before, but I was looking. I was like, anyone could fill this out.
Yeah.
You know, put in a temporary address. Maybe I don't know how closely they look at the signature because you do have to sign
They
it.
don't look.
But I wouldn't know until I showed up to vote, and they said, "Oh, you already voted."
Right. Correct.
That's
correct.
And
That happened to my friend OG.
yeah,
And he's an angry guy if you if you
Yeah.
rub him wrong. So he had an argument with him, and then he called me from the voting booth and says, "I'm going to get Russ Clark online. You're going to be, I don't know what that's going to do." But they offered him a provisional,
right.
which all the provisional is just calm you down because we're going to throw it away anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't going to go anywhere.
Well, that should be able to be investigated.
It won't be.
Yeah,
He's already voted. There's nothing to investigate. The provisional is a calming factor.
Right.
That's all it is move along in the line. You're okay. Do what we say. This will calm you. He wasn't calm.
right.
Calling me didn't make any difference, but it
Well,
was
it made him
interesting for me
calmer.
it made me interesting to listen
Made
to.
him feel better.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
There's another movement in the Democrats. I mean, they're getting splintered a little bit. The Progressive Sunrise Movement. You ever heard of that? I never heard of it.
No.
Progressive Sunrise Movement. And there's a co-founder in that it's in Michigan. William Lawrence defeated former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Bridget Brink, and former Navy SEAL Matt Masden to win the Democratic nomination for the Michigan 7th Congressional District anchored in
This is
Lansing.
Michigan again. They're getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of other than Americans voting and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's a progressive sunrise movement, which apparently embraces the Democrat Socialists of America
Ugh.
type stuff, which has Marxist communist policies. The Barrett ran unopposed. Now, Tom Barrett, he's a Republican.
The Republican.
Yeah, he ran unopposed because it's probably a more heavy Democrat
Or he's just
area.
really popular.
Could be, but
Because he's
that usually doesn't
he's
stop
the
someone else from
incumbent.
running. Yeah. Mark Marnella, spokesman for the House Republicans campaign on the Armed National Republican Congressional
Yes.
Committee, said that the Democrats' path to the House majority is evaporating in real time because they're looking at this and something that I talked to Jim Pfaff about, that they're looking at this and celebrating that this progressive sunrise movement member won, and he's an easy win because
Right.
they're Democrat socialists. Well, I don't like that. I think we fight hard no matter what, because something may surprise you. You could be surprised. But he says it's the majority is evaporating in real time. Every embarrassing defeat leaves them with a radical socialist nominee, an emptier bank account, and another must-win seat off the board.
Yeah.
And that's the way the Republicans are framing it. I think it's foolhardy to do that.
Yeah.
A little bit. You may privately celebrate it, but then let's get to work, right?
Well, the Republican is the incumbent, so that tends to give them a little bit of an edge.
No, he's not the Republican.
Yeah, he said
He's
it's
seeking. Oh,
representative.
second term. You're right. He is
Yeah.
the incumbent.
And a Republican running against
Oh, that's
Democrat,
why he was all
where
along.
he's already been
Yeah.
one. That's going to be beneficial for him.
I didn't know you were
the
reading my
socialist-
notes. Okay.
I do that. But no, he could just be very popular because Cupper and Carbone, they
They don't
ran
get- yeah.
unopposed.
Oh, yeah.
They're just really
Yeah.
good at what they're doing,
That's exactly
and people
right.
like them. So
The
sounds great.
the
But yeah, we shouldn't be complacent.
no, but Lawrence, who is the socialist, he has the backing from Rashid Tlaib, fellow Michigan Democrat,
Right.
and she's been a prominent member of the Socialists of America for many years. She's been out there for a long time,
And I didn't know that.
and she's also anti-Semitic and comments about Israel and all that
anti-everything,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Bernie Sanders also endorsed. Now, Bernie Sanders is not even a Democrat. He's described as a Democratic socialist, self-described Democratic socialist, but he's registered independent.
Is he?
Always has been, as far as I know. I don't know if maybe he was at one time. But I don't know when he changed, but he Lawrence founded that socialist program back in 2017, the one that just won it, the Progressive Sunrise Movement, which is aligned with the Democrat Socialist. He began as a youth-focused climate activist group that pushed the Green New Deal alongside progressives in Congress. And then since then, it's been a non-climate policy platform because we all know the climate stuff is crap. Non-climate platform. In fact, Greta Thunberg, who made all her fame on climate, she's moved on to anti-Semitism. You know, climate just doesn't as sexy as
German girl or something.
Yeah, Swedish, I think, or something. Non-climate platform, including calls to get immigration and customs enforcement out. See, that's the new hot ticket for the socialists. Cancel all ICE and stuff, and don't arrest people, and don't take illegals out of the country or criminals.
Yeah, I'm looking at their website right now. We believe everyone should have access to clean air and water, so they still have some.
I'm good with that.
Full pantries of food, affordable housing, free public transportation, good and meaningful jobs. How are you going to get that with socialism? I don't know how that's going to happen.
Well, they make those promises,
right?
And
we can agree. We believe everyone should have.
All those things are cool.
Yeah,
all of them.
Everyone should have those.
Should they be given to you by the government?
I don't know about free public transportation, but the rest of it, everyone should have those things. But how we get there?
I think walking to your job is acceptable.
Yeah,
that's free.
Yeah,
walk,
and you're transporting in the public.
You're transporting public right there. They said this Lawrence being elected is now likely the best outcome for Republicans. Don't keep saying that. It makes me nervous. Makes me think, well, all Republicans are laid back now, so I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, and that's how
you get tricked,
upsets
man.
happen is because you need the voter turnout, and if the voters are thinking, it's a wash,
it's no big deal.
We're gonna win it.
I'm not gonna mess my one vote.
My neighbor will vote. Well, your neighbor's not voting either because he thinks you're gonna vote. Everyone's got to get out and make their voice heard and vote.
Yes.
And then good things happen for the.
Well, I remember the Democrats celebrating when Trump got nominated in 2016 election against Hillary.
Oh, we're gonna win.
Man, that's great, man. This is a shoo-in now. We got this made. No, Trump's never going to be president.
Right.
Even Obama said that on air, remember?
You know, and to be honest, I was unsure when I voted for Trump. I was like, who would have thought he would win?
He was behind the polls like 5%.
I was, when he won the primary, I was like, there's no way he's going to beat Hillary. And
he did.
I was like, we're going to have a Democrat president. It's terrible.
In fact,
I didn't think he'd win. Nobody would thought.
And the Democrats didn't hold back on Biden when Biden ran.
Mm-hmm.
They cheated him all the way up to 80 million votes. I mean, for an unconscious candidate, up to 80 million. That's not even possible. And it's never been duplicated. It wasn't duplicated the next year. Nobody got that kind of votes. I think in Trump's second term, when he was running for a second term, he got more votes than any president ever in history. Right. But Biden got more. Yeah. Oh, I think BS.
Well, and then he broke records again with his the 2020
there was problems there. There were problems. Well, I think and that was the 2020 election. But I think
2024.
The 2024 were problems, but he said all along, too big to rig. We need to get so many people out. They can't rig it enough.
And we did.
To steal it. Yeah, I think so.
He did.
Well, Harris didn't get 80 million either. But I think there were more eyes on it. It wasn't COVID. And COVID, they put in so many rules and regulations or overrode them. Well, it's an emergency, so we're not going to check signatures. It's an emergency, so we're not going to do protocol. And a lot of states. And all of they all went to court over, the Republican. It's all you don't have any
standing.
No, don't have any standing. But they all came out afterwards and said, well, that was wrong. You shouldn't have done that. That's against the policy. It's against the rules. It's against the law afterwards.
Right.
But we're not going to do anything.
It was done.
We're not going to undo anything.
Right.
Yeah. So we didn't have it again. But that was a heyday for the cheaters, I think. Yes. When COVID came and we didn't even have the policies in place that are weak. They overrode them. It's terrible.
That's reminding me of something. So my wife likes to send me these silly things.
Well, it's nice that your wife listens to you.
Yeah. Well, She likes to make fun of me too.
I mean, she hears you. I don't know, listening to you the right thing, but she hears you.
But she sent me this this thing that's going around on the internet, and this guy's got a T-shirt, and it says, "10 years ago, we had Steve Jobs, Bob Hope, and Johnny Cash.
Oh yeah.
Now we have no Jobs, no Hope, and no Cash.
Mm.
Please God, don't let Kevin Bacon die." Which is funny.
That's funny.
But I was like,
I like Kevin Bacon.
they all died more than 10 years ago.
No.
So I Googled, yeah.
They did.
Yeah, Bob Hope and Johnny Cash both died in 2003.
Okay.
And Steve Jobs died in I think it was 2011.
Get this guy calendar.
So this shirt is only accurate if it says 10 years ago.
Why did they say 20?
This is
Just
only,
change the shirt to 20.
Yeah, this is only actually 25 would need to be.
Yeah, okay.
But it's only accurate for it's in 2013 to 2021.
Maybe it's an old shirt.
But that was Democrat years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Democrat years when he was wearing this shirt. So boom on you, because I'm sure the person putting this out was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take down Trump with this meme." But no, that was Democrat years when he was wearing that shirt when it was accurate.
Okay.
So on you.
That's
There
an
you
old
go.
shirt.
It is funny. I did like it. I thought that was humorous.
I want to talk about military innovation.
Okay, let's do that.
You like tech?
Yeah, I do.
Laser weapons. Yeah, and I was a big fan of Star Wars.
Yeah, the blasters.
Yeah, Star Wars.
It's
and
not as
Star
elegant.
Trek when it was on there, with James Kirk and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And they had
They could
lasers
set
and
it to
stuff. And it was all
just,
sci-fi, nothing that exists.
It's not.
They've been
It's a
working on
thing.
it to get it to exist. It does exist. It's not handheld, but it exists. I mean, you look at the power that goes into a laser. I don't know how you put in a little pistol that you want to hit, but we'll figure that out someday.
We will.
Yeah,
actually,
probably. Well, they've been testing things for decades, trying to get something, and they give up on it, and they say, "Oh, we found a new way to do it," and they get back on it, give up.
Yeah.
But I had a friend that was working on this stuff in the 70s,
Oh,
lasers
sure.
and stuff.
Sure.
Didn't go a long way, but now they're entering a contract for something called the Enduring High Energy Laser, and it's EHL, and it's a system. If it gets out as expected, and then they think it's ready to go, it's the first laser weapon to transition into a permanent operational capacity. In other words, it's going to be, you're just going to put it up like you do a Patriot missile.
Mhm.
Just put it in the ground, set it there, and it's going to build a shield around that area, whatever comes through that's aimed at small drones and stuff like that. Now they've got a few of these things on something similar on battleships and all. This one's microwave.
Okay.
I guess it cooks it. There's some interesting things on that. It's going to go after inexpensive drones and that kind of stuff, which it can take down. Missiles are too fast and too shielded, really.
Right.
Because something that's hypersonic missile has a lot of shielding, so it doesn't burn up. Laser trying to burn it up, you don't have
It's not
enough
gonna do
time.
anything,
It's coming
right.
to you don't have enough time to burn that up. But we're in a big transition with our military where we've got these cheap drones that are highly effective, and they've taken them down with $1 million missiles.
Right.
And you got a drone that costs a few $1,000s. It's not a good thing financially.
So this would be able to take them.
Well,
down easier.
yeah, it could take those down. It doesn't do away with, and it doesn't do away with the missiles. We still need the Patriots and stuff, the expensive stuff,
Right.
for the missiles.
Right.
Like this would be a waste of time on some of it, but for the drones, it has a heyday, and it could go apparently all day doing it. They take a lot of energy, though, But we're building those little nuclear
Right.
things. Ideal.
We
Put
got
one in
plenty
the
of
ground,
energy.
stick one of those there, and I don't know what the radius is. It's not telling us, but a lot of those are only 10 miles on a good day. It's the fog you worry about. It
Right.
does affect it.
Yeah.
It does affect it. Lieutenant General Frank Lorenzo said he was negotiating a contract with a AeroVironment for EHIL, describing it's the Army's first program of record for a family of high energy laser systems, which they've already been out there, but I guess this is a different type. It says a lot of recent promises during tests at White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico. I wish we had it here at YPG. They probably wouldn't let me watch it anyway. And they're at the point that contract. The Air Force is also using now a compact laser weapon system in multiple locations overseas to defend against drones. The Navy's also has one called Helos. that's a high energy laser with integrated optical dazzler and surveillance. And they put those on ships. In fact, they're putting them in containers. They're in containers. They take the container, bolt it down to the deck of the ship, plug it in, and they start shooting. They don't have to refit the ship or anything.
Huh.
They've been putting them on aircraft carriers and destroyers and stuff. They've been getting those. The U.S. is not alone in pursuing it because there has been such an influx and such a change because of the Ukraine-Russia war that there are swarms of drones. I'm talking thousands swarms. Ukraine's building 10,000 a month and swarming everything from anti-personnel, anti-tank, and whatever drones. In fact, I just saw a new one that they put out a video on. That's one of those big drones. You've seen those big drones that do agriculture here?
Right.
Them big copters that can carry real weight. They use that drone to take a land drone with tank tracks and a landmine attached to it into Russia, close to where they want to end up, drop the land down, and then come back to get another one. And that little track one goes a short distance. It's not going to do long distance over terrain, but short distance, and set off a landmine under a vehicle or something like that. And these things are just popping out.
Yeah.
But they don't send one in. They send in swarms of them.
Well, I was impressed when they sent in that truck, that semi truck that opened up.
Oh yeah,
and
swarmed that,
and the swarm came out of there.
And that was AI generated for targeting. They targeted to specific aircraft in a specific spot, so they knew once they hit that, it would ignite the fuel on board. Very sophisticated stuff.
Absolutely changing the nature of combat.
But now they're trying to fight that with these lasers, because they know that just like Russia had no idea this stuff's coming. They don't have a defense against it. We don't have a defense against it. If one of those tractor trailers pulled up in Yuma next to next to the Marine Corps Air Station, and popped open, and all the drones swarmed, I don't know whether the Marines have anything to stop it.
Right. And we shouldn't know.
Well, we shouldn't know.
But
these are things that would.
Well, and prior to the drones, people would be looking at this kind of technology. Well, it's not going to stop a missile, so it's just kind of theoretical. But now that the drones are out, people are like, oh, wait, no, we can actually. This actually has some functional value now. So I think it's great that it's reinvigorating the.
And I watched a special on the one the Navy's using, and the one the Navy's using can continuously fire. There's no reloading, and the ship, which has nuclear power, has plenty of power.
Plenty of power, yeah.
And it's just going to keep firing, and the thing's not going to overheat. It just keeps going, so it can go. It could have too many. It takes like 2 seconds on a drone, 2 seconds on a drone, 2 seconds on a drone. So as long as you don't have a million of them,
right. Well, and that's the other side. In combat technology, it's always somebody develops something, we defend against that, and somebody defends against that, and it just keeps bouncing back and forth.
Well, this article says everybody's spooling up like crazy because this stuff is not coming; it's here.
Yeah,
the drones are here. The defenses are coming.
Right.
well, we have the $1 million per shot defense, which is not adequate.
Right.
Financially would not work.
Well, even discounting the financial aspect of it, one of those defensive drones, missiles, can't take out a swarm of drones. It'll get some of them, but not all of them, and then the rest are getting through. So we need things like that.
This thing's called the Epirus Leonidas, the new one that came out. It's a high-powered microwave beam that stops drones in their tracks.
Cool.
The director of Missile Defense Project, Tom Caraco, says it's not about the lasers anymore. It's all these other things that make it workable as a weapon system for ensuring it can withstand dust, heat, bad weather to develop in doctrine, training, operation, and maintaining the systems in the field. And that's something what the lasers are having a problem with. If the fog rolls in, it's not 2 seconds on a drone, it's 8 seconds.
Right.
It's totally different. Do not eliminate. Well, they got to worry about the shooting beyond the targets, which I would never thought. Now, the lasers that the Navy's using, the distance dissipates.
Right.
because it's hitting particles and stuff in the atmosphere. It dissipates. But they're saying now with this microwave, it will travel beyond the intended target. So they must ensure they do not inadvertently eliminate satellites and other aircraft.
Yeah.
So
because it's going to work like it goes through the medium rather than.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
how
as
it
long
works.
as the medium exists,
But they're saying
it
they're
could
worried
keep
about hitting a
going.
satellite. Now, a satellite is a little farther away and and all that, but which a laser is not going to do.
Right.
I mean, the effective range of those lasers is like 5 miles, 10 miles, depending on the wattage. This thing apparently not so.
Right.
More so. So it's got to have AI in it to know where all the satellites are, all the planes are. So when you shoot these things, you're not hitting an unintended target.
Right.
Don't give me one. I don't know what all those are. It's proven to be more complicated than simply building a powerful laser.
Yeah.
Because it may go, to our neighbors in Mars. I don't know. We don't want to hurt them. So it's been driven in large part by rapid proliferation of inexpensive drones, which you say in the Ukraine, Middle East, and all that. It's unlikely to replace traditional missiles. We still need them because there's things this thing won't take down or can't take down.
Right.
Like hypersonics and stuff like that.
Well,
and even Israel has many layers. And those layers include fighting aircraft. The aircraft are out in front of it too. The F-35s and stuff are out there, and they shoot the stuff out further away. They start shooting them off. I mean, they start shooting down projectiles and stuff many, many miles before it ever reaches Israel. They don't wait.
And that's the kind of defense that we need is layers.
Yeah.
This happens way out there. This happens closer up. This happens for this kind of attack. This happens for that kind of attack. And the more varied our defense options are, the safer we're going to be.
I like shooting them farther away. With the lasers I saw on the Navy ship, they were shooting them down 2 miles away, and I'm like, that's too close.
Yeah, for as fast as those things go,
that's too close. Well, they're going under 100 miles an hour, but they cover 2 miles at 100 miles an hour pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They can't shoot beyond the horizon. Apparently, the missiles,
right? They
can shoot over mountains,
right,
and all that kind of stuff. But they're like $5 million. Once you get those real sophisticated ones. And here's another rub that I really found interesting. Lockheed Martin is making the missiles, the Patriot missiles. They're like $3 million a copy for a Patriot missile.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now the government says we need them made faster. We need more of them because we've got so many, not us, but partners too, using them because of all this crap that's going on in Ukraine and in Iran and all that. Well, they're making them and they're saying that, we're going to be able to shortcut a little bit of stuff. We're going to do some stuff different. We're going to get them for less than half the price. We're having a sale now because there's competition. We're having a sale because it used to be they were the only defense mechanism. Right?
Yeah.
Well, we got a $30,000 drone coming in. Go ahead and shoot a Patriot at it.
Yeah.
What's 3 million to 30,000? But now they've bought drones. The United States has bought drones, anti-drone drones from Ukraine. Ukraine's producing so many, they're selling them. So we've bought them and incorporated them in Ukraine or Iran. I think 3 weeks in, we just went out and said, man, we need something better. And they went out and got them. And they're like $1,000 a copy, $1,500 a copy. Well, this high-powered microwave is designed to be that defense against the battleship growing threats, which is the swarms of inexpected drones. And they need something that can take it down, like a swarm. And I think the microwave is it's more broad of a beam.
Yeah, and we'd call it like an area of effect in gaming.
Okay.
So it's not one single target. You can hit multiple targets one time. So that's everything you're reading there sounds fantastic. I'm thrilled.
It's also investing in more radio frequency technologies capable of jamming in communications between drones or operators, which is a real science. Now, I saw a thing on YouTube that explained an interaction between one of China's brand new F-22 kind of knockoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And they were harassing a B-52 in the China Sea, which is normal.
Right.
I mean, we continue to fly B-52s over the China Sea for one reason, and that is to let China know we are not letting you have this as your territorial waters. It's international airspace, and we're going to continue to fly it.
Yeah.
So they come out and fly just feet away, which is dangerous. It could stall an engine. It could do some things, but but apparently this plane, this Chinese plane was flying and harassing this B-52. And the F-22 was right on its tail. It didn't know it. And it opened up and put on its locking system, which instantly let the pilot of the Chinese like, holy crap. And you see it's an F-22 and they did all the dodging and the distraction, the flares and all that stuff. And the beam stays. And he said they went wingtip to wingtip. He waved at him or something. and the Chinese guy, realized it, it's not a place he wants to be. But somehow the F-22 got into their electronics and was playing Top Gun movie music over there, and they couldn't turn it off.
I was just
now, is that possible?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm listening to it on YouTube, so I don't have any corroboration there. But they said that he basically could take control of that Chinese plane.
Wow.
And it flew back to China, and of course he said that pilot would probably have to explain why that music keeps playing. He doesn't turn it off, and he went back in that way. That's their brand new, top of the line.
Wow.
Military jet. If that's all true, and I'm telling you, it was on YouTube by some retired expert that has some internal knowledge apparently about the interaction. If that's all true, and that's
I don't
impressive.
know how they could know if it was actually playing in the other dude's cockpit.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
But that's what they said, that they took over the electronics.
If that's the case,
but if they could take over the
that
electronics,
we can do that. But that means somebody else might be able to do it to us, and so that's concerning.
Yeah. But that's why we need all the data centers.
Yeah. So you can figure all this stuff out.
Well, they do. They need the data centers, and like Jim Pfaff said, there's a Chinese company that has put in tons of money to discredit data centers and put all that rumors out there. That's going to
because they want to be data center.
Yes.
They want to have all of that, and imagine all of our data, because it's data centers are global, they're not local. Everything goes through the data centers, and they get divvied up throughout the data. If everything's going through China,
but
China has proven themselves that that's where they.
I don't
really
think
want
our data goes through China.
It all gets shared. If somebody from China,
I'm gonna have to research that, but I don't think it does.
Somebody from China gets on a website here in the States, it's gonna
they can share it manually. It doesn't automatically.
Everything gets sent globally. Yeah. It's not
okay.
But if they're the ones holding on, with
but
all
China
the
doesn't tie on and use our data
centers. No.
Okay. I don't think they do.
It's on. It's the traffic is going to be going through.
Well, and we need a lot more of them.
Yeah.
And all the stories out there that are anti-data centers, I'm sure some of it's based on fact. Yeah. I mean, there are some places that use too much water. There are some places that it's caused electrical problems. I'm sure that's all true. Because data centers have been around for 20, 30 years since the internet.
Yeah. So at the time, it was fine.
Yeah.
Times changed.
And
now
now
people are getting bad deals.
They are making these nuclear reactors right now, today, thanks to Trump's executive thing, that are going to be hitting the market in the next few months. I mean, this year we'll be installing them.
Good.
And data centers are buying them.
Well, everyone needs to be buying them. That's the future of power.
Probably. But some of these companies, and I read some stories on it yesterday, some of these companies have plans that by 2027, they're going to be heavily manufactured. By 28, they'll be doing 1,000 a year. 1,000. And now these things are small. Some of them are smaller than others, but they can do anywhere from 800 homes with one reactor to 100,000.
Right.
And still in that range from 800 to 100,000. So one of the 100,000s would do all of Yuma.
Right.
Everything. But they say the 800 ones are great for like these island places and all that kind of stuff, or maybe just for dedicated to a data center or something.
Yeah. And that's fascinating to me.
Yeah, it is.
Because we all have the picture of 3 Mile Island in our head. These massive cooling.
Well, that's how they are. Palo Verde.
Yeah,
it's huge.
But
it's given power to 4 different states, 5 different or 7 different states. We don't know. It has enough power to power all of Arizona, 100% of Arizona. But that's not the way it was built. It was built with partnerships in California and Texas, New Mexico. It's all over. It's owned by many companies. It's not owned by one. So it's not just ours. It's just on our property.
Yeah. But but the technology has gone to the point where we have options. Everyone,
No.
everyone, when I talk about, nuclear power, why aren't we using more of it? And everyone's terrified of nuclear power
Yeah.
because of 3 Mile Island and
Well,
Chernobyl and all that.
They should be. They
But-
should be questioned.
Yeah, the technology has changed. It's
Yeah.
it's when
a
you
different
consider
structure.
how many nuclear reactors are out there and how few incidents have occurred, statistically it's a very safe product, and it's gotten safer. And now when we have these different options of sizes and scale, even if something goes wrong on a small one, it's not going to be as
Well-
big of an issue as it was for these massive.
The small ones are built totally
facilities.
different.
Yeah.
In fact, they shut down if they lose power.
Yeah.
But now, and a lot of them, and at least the ones I've read on, create their own power to make themselves work.
Right.
Other ones like Fukushima wasn't like that. It had to get power off the grid to work.
Mm.
Now it pumped power into the grid, but it also had to get it off the grid.
Mhm.
Couldn't work internally. So when the grid went down,
That was
it went down.
Right.
And when it went down, it would not be able to cool. The new ones, when they go down, automatically cool.
Right.
It's like the brakes in a tractor trailer when they first made them. If your hydraulics broke, you couldn't stop.
And now that's the default.
Now it's opposite. If your hydraulics fail, you stop immediately.
Right.
Because it's the brakes are naturally going to be locked.
Yep.
It takes power to take them unlocked.
Yep.
And then if the power goes, they lock.
And that's how
And that's a safety thing.
that's how technology develops. We
Yeah.
thought it was good. Oh, we found an issue. We
Yeah.
fixed it. Yeah. And it's been around for a long time. We've found a lot of ways to make it safer and safer and safer. We should be doing much more nuclear power. And this just brings it back into the conversation. And I think it's a great
And these
thing.
small ones aren't really using water. Or some of them are
Right.
using different means to cool them.
Yeah.
And some of them are buried underground. They're not accessible
Well,
for
and
safety.
And if we can get the nuclear power more prolific, then the biggest barrier to desalinating water is power, because it takes a lot of energy
Yeah.
to desalinate water. If
So
we
you-
can have plenty of energy, then we can desalinate water better, and we can have plenty of water. It
All
just
good.
keeps coming
And can-
back to.
And
good,
can you
good, good.
imagine when you get a big data center, let's say one of those mega data centers that's going to take more power than most small communities,
Yeah,
you could put it right on site so you don't have to do all these
Exactly.
transmission lines in.
Right.
You don't have to transmit it from Palo Verde. They say, oh, we got to put a bunch of lines from Palo Verde to Yuma. Well, I don't know what that costs, but I
Right.
think the nuclear power system's cheaper.
Yeah.
Just
well,
put that in
and,
there.
then you don't have to deal with
Just for the lines.
environmentalists, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't like the environmentalists.
We're getting close to the end here. I came across something that I thought was interesting.
What's that?
So 12 News in Phoenix.
Yeah.
They're the ones that lied about the ESA program and got a lot of people upset about it. And now we're
still
dealing
lying?
with all that. Well, it's interesting. A new investigation by 12 News reveals massive gaps between graduation rates and proficiency rates. And they're announcing this, and I agree. There are massive gaps. They'll have schools will have a 91% graduation rate and a 30% proficiency rate.
Oh, okay.
Things like that. But this is not news. It's been around for a long time. When I was in high school, they would make sure you graduated.
Yeah.
Whether you knew anything or not.
Yeah.
Teachers today can tell you, yep, they do the same thing today, every time, every year. And that's what the comments was, when people were commenting on it, they were like, yeah, where have you been? This is not breaking news. I'm thrilled that 12 News is putting out something that's actually factual, but it would have been nice if they would, at least acknowledge this isn't new. This isn't our new discovery. They're taking credit for some breaking story.
That's what they
it's
do.
been around, and that's one of the things that, at least I'm running for in the, for the school board is trying to correct that. But it's been around for a long time. It's not unique to Yuma High School, any Yuma district. It's across the nation. When I was in dependent schools in Germany as a military dependent, it was happening there too. It's just everywhere, which is, and people in the comments were like, "This is why we want to homeschool. This is why we want to do private schools." And the government's trying to kill the ESA which allows us to do that. If you can, and one of the comments I've been making with the public school system for a long time, if you're concerned about people leaving the public school system, ask them why. Why are you leaving the public school system? Well, if they're saying, well, my kid's not getting a good education in an educational environment, fix the educational environment instead of trying to lasso the people and pull them back in.
That's what they're
their
doing.
Will.
I know.
Fix the situation, and then they won't leave.
I think the ESA is good for competition, and they need to start doing something different that the people want.
Well, not just competition. This is something Horn has brought up multiple times. Is it gives an opportunity for experimentation. Let people try things, and if it works, great. Then we can adopt it. If it doesn't work, no harm done because it was on a small scale. And we can try things out and give it competition, like you said. Give people choices.
The thing that I've seen from this homeschooling with Tanya and stuff, I would put my kids over there in a minute.
Yeah. With
Tanya's type group, with homeschooling, where they get together, different families get together, and they have great programming and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those types of organizations around.
And that's not a new idea that an attitude that you're expressing there. People are concerned. Well, if my kid gets homeschooled, then they don't get an official diploma from the state, and they don't. But I asked them, if you're an employer and you got somebody coming in, they're equally qualified in every other way. One of them has a diploma from a public school. One of them has a diploma from homeschool, because you can make up your own homeschool diploma. Who are you going to have higher expectations of?
Right.
The homeschool kid.
Yeah.
And that's not a new attitude.
Same with the colleges. Colleges look at the homeschools, and so we potentially have a pretty good student. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And everybody has that attitude. Everybody knows that the homeschool kids are delivering better than the public school kids. And yet we're still fighting.
It's not, I know, to keep it. Well, that's because they want to support teachers' unions. It has nothing to do with helping kids.
And I like how you said that. They're supporting teacher unions.
Yeah.
They're not supporting
the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But in their minds, our ways are better because we dumb down the classes so everybody passes.
Yeah.
That's not better.
Oh yeah. And policies of, you can't give anything less than a 50%, or, you have to give them the whole semester to do an assignment from the beginning of the semester.
Because we want everyone to pass.
We want everyone to pass. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, they started out a long time ago, it used to hold people back from moving up to the next class.
I had 2 siblings that were held back.
And they stopped doing that. They, that social promotion thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's bad for them socially. They become, I don't know, mass murderers. Did your siblings become mass murderers?
Just one of them.
But, and we got good.
But even if you want to socially promote them, okay, but tailor their education to where they're at academically. They can be with kids the same age group,
but they don't do that. In the schools I've seen where there's 30 kids in a classroom, they all have to be on the same page.
Yep. Well, and 30 would be nice. I had 40.
Okay, you get 40. They're all on the same page. But unlike being able to break it up, like in the homeschooling and stuff like that, you get one kid working ahead, one behind, because you're doing more than just babysitting.
Right.
And a lot of these high school guys, I mean, these kids been getting away with having their phones in the class and sassing, and they can't do discipline, and they're not afraid of this principal.
All right.
And I was afraid of the principal because he'd smack you.
I got spanked a couple of times.
There you go. So, but there's no discipline today.
No, there isn't. Yeah. That's another.
So who's running the schools?
That's another plank in my platform.
Unless you go to a private school.
Right.
Like my kids, grandkids are going to a religious school out in the foothills, a Baptist church, Freedom, I think. And they ain't getting away with crap.
No.
They're going to be studying. And when they come home and say, I got to do this homework, and they're going to get it done.
Right.
Because they're not going to go to school the next day and explain to teach that I don't have it. High school, I didn't feel like it. Okay.
Yep. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Preaching to the choir here. And one of the problems is at the state level, schools are graded on graduation rates.
Yep.
They want high graduation rates and on
college
discipline
issues too.
Discipline issues.
Discipline.
If you have high discipline issues, high numbers.
So if you leave them out of control and don't discipline, you got high numbers.
Yeah. But if you don't report the discipline
it, well, yeah.
then you have low numbers.
Right. Don't send
And
them
you
to the
can-
principal's
and
office.
if you pass them, then you have high graduation numbers. And
Tell-
that's what the
Tell
grades are.
teachers to stop complaining about discipline.
They do. They absolutely
Wow.
do. And I have anecdotal, personal experience with
Yeah.
that of, well, what could you have done
Well,
to fix the situation?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I could have had a better administrator in here giving better direction.
in front of the student. in question.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
It is a problem.
That's so sensitive of you. That's wonderful. That's concerning.
It is. Yeah.
Real quick, a comment from a listener. In 2016, Donald Trump got 304 electoral votes, 62,984, or 62,984,000 popular votes, which is 45.9%.
Okay.
Hillary Clinton, on the other hand, got 227 electoral votes, 65,853,000 popular votes, 48%. So Hillary got 48%, Trump got 45
Of the popular votes. Yeah.
popular votes. Don't care for Clinton, but seems like we the people didn't matter in 2016. Now I say BS.
Right.
Here's the policy. I mean, every state has an electoral college. We know the rules. And for somebody to run for president, they're going to want to win. And that's through the electoral college.
Right.
So you hit the states,
Yeah.
you hit the plan that's going to get you to win the presidency.
Yeah.
And that means that maybe he didn't lean hard on California, which he didn't in 2016.
Right.
He did the next time and had great increases. But he had a plan to win the presidency, not win popularity. I mean, as far as I got the most
Well,
votes.
And we use the term win like it's a game, and there's rules in a game, and these are the rules. He's playing by the rules we've had for 250 years.
And I don't think he tried to
This
win the
is the
popular
way it
vote
is.
in 24, but he did.
And I don't think, and I'd have to Google, I don't know if anyone has ever won and had the popular vote. It's usually,
Oh no, it's it's common.
you think so?
Yes, and no, I know so.
Hmm.
But it's also common to
But
not.
it's not
I mean,
necessary.
it's
Yeah.
not necessary.
It's not, it wasn't surprising. when
Bush
this
didn't win
happened.
the
Yeah.
popular vote.
It's not new.
Trump didn't the first time.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. That's not the goal.
That's not,
Especially
the
when you
way
got a
it
state
plays.
like California, which is a highly popular state, and a huge percentage is going to automatically go to Democrat
Right.
Party. The Republicans realize, well, I'm not going to get those electoral college votes. What do I care about the popular? I'm going to spend all my energy and money to get
Right.
because
Well,
that's what matters. at
and
the
if
end of
this,
the day.
and the states can decide how their
Yes.
electoral votes are
Correct.
divvied.
and
If
that's the
this
state.
person is concerned about that, then push for your state to divvy them up.
A couple states do. I
proportionally.
think Maine does.
Yeah.
There's one other does.
As long as you have an all or nothing.
Well, they'll never
system.
do that in California because they say, "Oh,
Yeah,
I
because
could do
that's
that.
not
We're
the
Democrat.
Democrats.
We want
Yeah.
to all go to Democrat."
But that's why you have the discrepancy. If everybody did it proportionally, then it would come out proportionally. Your popular vote would
Right.
be your electoral vote.
We go by electoral college.
But yeah. So
And the popular vote, it keeps talking about like that would straighten things out. It would change the dynamics of how we go to market.
Right.
If you went to popular vote, then they'd have to, worry about, unfortunately, the more populous states, and they would probably ignore Nebraska.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Well-
Nebraska is only one county in California.
and as it is, when like Democrat is California's very Democrat, other states that are very Republican, they don't get as much attention as swing states like Arizona.
right.
So like you said, it's just going to change the approach to the
But don't
campaigns.
give me that crap that we weren't listening to the people. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And we followed the Constitution, which gave states rights to choose. These are states voting, not individuals for the federal office. The states have a say,
Now,
and
if
they
you-
get more of a say based on their population.
So that's the question: is how the states are deciding their
Right.
electoral vote. And there's valid discussion as to whether or not the electoral college is needed at all
Always.
anymore. But
I think it is.
complaining about the popular vote versus the electoral vote is a
I think it makes
non-starter.
more.
Yeah.
I think it makes every single state more valid. Versus like we're not going to follow states anymore, and so I mean seriously, people wouldn't go to North Dakota and campaign or Nebraska. We wouldn't even put them on the radar.
Right.
We're only going to go for the popular states, and see the popular states automatically are more socialist because they
Right.
live in big cities and high rises, more socialist. and they would favor the Democrat socialists.
Yeah.
And that would turn Nebraska into something else.
Yeah. And, so, and, those are all things that can be discussed, but, as long as you're, you discuss the rules.
Yeah.
You don't discuss the result.
But to
If you
say
don't
that
like
the people
result,
weren't heard, the
change-
people were heard.
Yeah. And the people are heard by representing the representatives. That's what they're there for.
Right. They followed the law, followed the Constitution. And Trump stated that too, man. Like if I wanted a popular vote, we'd have done things differently, but that's not what have got me president.
Right.
And he did it. We're out of time.
Again.
It's time to go. Thanks for coming in, Chris.
Good time.
I'll see you next Thursday. I'm coming in here tomorrow though. Without
you
you.
do that.
All right.
I don't know how you get by without me.
Russ Clark with Mortgage One.